And I just realized once again I have my mic muted. It's going to be that kind of week, isn't it, guys? Well, welcome to the Eternia Archives podcast, where we discuss current and historical gaming topics that are of interest to us and our followers on social media. If you like our content, consider hitting that thumbs up icon, subscribing to our channels, following us on Twitter, and joining our Discord server with the invite link in this video's description. We have a special guest this week from our Discord, Hope. Yay! Cheer, do the thing.
What up?
Yeah, we
Hey,
got
thanks for
Hope.
having me, man.
So,
Go.
Lane, what is our topics for this week?
So this week is Nintendo DS week. So we'll be doing our top 5 games for the Nintendo DS. We'll be talking about, in the spirit of Halloween, we will be talking about our favorite horror game, as well as some bad horror cliches that we feel are in the industry. And then lastly, we will be talking about gameplay loops we wish that didn't exist in RPGs. And then we will end with our usual what have we been playing in Q&A section. So let's get right into our top 5 DS games. So Mr. Hope, you're our guest. Would you like to start with your number 5 pick?
Yeah, sure. Why not? My first would most likely be this game right here, Phoenix Wright.
That's your
Okay.
number 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, I gotta say, I feel kind of cheated because that's also my number 5. Phoenix.
You go with the second or third game.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. So tell us why you like it.
Oh, okay, you guys already know it's great. The characters are great. Each case that it has, there are great twists and just a shit ton of epic moments. And the comedy is just top tier in it as well. There's always like a moment where you're always laughing while you're reading this stuff, right? And it's interesting. This game here, it's filled to the brim with jokes. At least this is what I read. It's filled to the brim with jokes that gaijins like us wouldn't understand, possibly hope to understand. So you got to give props to the localization team for their efforts to be able to properly translate this, culturally change this for us to actually understand the jokes. So this game is also like it's a localization done right, I guess you could say. And yeah, it's just tons of fun, and that's it.
I've never actually played the Ace Attorney games. I've seen a couple jokes from them, but they just seemed like a little too dialogue heavy, and for my taste, it seemed.
I'm not familiar with this series.
Did you play?
There's 2 sections. You've got the investigation section and the case section. It's true. Both sections are dialogue heavy, but man, the case sections are just so much fun. It's worth it, man. It is dialogue heavy, but it is so worth it.
Didn't they release those again, on the?
They did, yeah. 1, 2, and 3 on Switch and PS4, physically as well, but import only.
Oh, well, might give it a try sometime.
Yeah, I was just looking the game up and saw it was on Switch. Cool. So it's kind of a detective style.
Well, it's kind of hard to
game.
explain what it is. It's kind of its own game. It's
Okay.
basically if you ever wanted to be a lawyer in real life and not have to deal with the BS law stuff, it's a great game.
So yeah, that's my number 5. Love the
Good
series
pick.
to death.
If you ever wanted to tell someone that they're full of crap, that's your game. Right?
Actually, if you ever wanted to tell someone they're full of crap, get a job in quality. That's all I have to say.
Cool. Nice pick. Yeah. So I can go next. So I never actually had a DS growing up. Um, my sisters were a lot more loved. My parents loved my sisters more than me, so they got DSs and I only got a Game Boy. So, um, but later on in life, I bought a 3DS, so I have a few DS games, and I remember as a kid playing some games that my sister had. So, um, for my number five pick, it's actually a game I've never played. It's a game I watched, and it is part of the Kingdom Hearts collection, and that is Kingdom Hearts 365 over 2 days.
Three
Um,
358.
358 over two.
There you
Sorry,
go.
I wrote it down wrong in my notes here. 358. Thank you for correcting me.
It's just they have weird names.
It's that number. It's some number over two. So
No shame on that, man. It's Nomura's fault.
yeah, seriously. But yeah, I haven't I own a copy of it. I haven't played it, but I really liked the when I was playing the Kingdom Hearts collection on PS4. I really liked the story in this one. I really liked Axel and Shion, his characters, Roxas, and I just liked their friendship, and I thought it was really good. So that's my number five pick.
I think the story is very touching in that game. Like
Yeah, it's kind of sad at the end.
probably the most like heartbreaking story in the franchise. The gameplay is a bit clunky, but yeah, it's not great. But the story is good. So
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I like it a lot.
I beat that game,
Oh, you
and
did?
yes, it was okay. I didn't for it was not Kingdom Hearts. Like it just felt so bare bones compared to the original. It really needed to be on like a modern console,
Yeah.
like Birth by Sleep. But
It's too bad that they didn't bring like the full game. It just did like a movie version of it.
the thing is, like, I played through the entire game and then I beat it and I was like, wow, that's so sad. And then I'm like, but what impact does that have on the story? And at the time, it did nothing.
Sure.
So they've come. At first, I was very disappointed with that, but it plays a pretty big role in Kingdom Hearts 3, I believe. So I'm
Yeah.
indeed, mhm.
I'm going back through it now, and I'm like, okay, I want to see how this plays out. So,
Like major role. Yeah.
yeah, but at the time, it served like no purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, but it's a pretty good game.
Yeah. So that's my number five. I've never actually played it. I've only watched it. But the story was good enough that it made the cut. All right, Nick, why don't you go next? What's your number five pick?
My number five, it's kind of a tie, I'll say. I don't have one of them, but I would have to do. I guess my honorable mention would be like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because they have a story to it and it's just a fun game. But next up would be the Mega Man Star Force series, which it's pretty much a not a direct continuation, but it's like a spiritual successor to Mega Man Battle Network that plays almost identically with a few modifications, and it takes the grid system. I think it's like I forget how many squares there were, but it
Three
kind
by
of
three on each side.
yeah, three by three on each side, right? Yeah, and the new one condenses it to a smaller battlefield, and it makes it a little easier at times. It's still challenging somewhat, but as long it felt a lot more optimized for as long as you just kind of got the collectibles and stuff like the HP memory upgrades and stuff. You could pretty well just go straight through the game, no problem. Um, it its story's a little lighter than the original Mega Man Battle Network, but I'm gonna talk about the first one. It tackles some darker themes. Uh, that's the only one I've completed of the Star Force series, but I don't have a case for those games. Since there's 3 of them, I just bought the carts. So that's the one I'm talking about. It's a good game. Takes everything that's great about Mega Man Battle Network, kind of streamlines it, and it offers 3D graphics, which are pretty good for the DS. Really, it's some of the better 3D graphics you'll see on the DS. So it's a pretty good game overall. Likable story, likable characters, and the gameplay that Mega Man's known for. It's a good game, great action RPG. Would recommend it to anybody.
Cool.
Sad,
Callie.
not better than Battle Network.
Well,
Nah.
I gotta say, well, Hope started with the same game I picked for number 5, and that is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Okay.
I got towards the end of the game. I don't know if I ever beat it. I think something happened and I stopped playing it for whatever reason. But it's a fun game, as Hope said. It's unique. There's not really any other game like it. Um, I, I don't know much what else to say about it. It has two main parts of the game. One, you're in the court, and you have to kind of answer the right things. Um, and well, Enashi, you can come join us. I can go set it up. We can have 6 people. If you want to pop in, I'll add you, buddy. Um, but Phoenix Wright, it's got the court sections where you have to get the exact right answers and memorize the different things that you found, and then you have to go do the like uh like mist type stuff from long ago and like find the little hidden things in each little just detective area. Some parts were frustrating, but the comedy is really good. And absolutely, there's a lot of comedy that the Gaijins like us just wouldn't understand. Hope's right. But they did a great job. I highly recommend the Ace Attorney series. Uh, I believe they're on the Switch now. I think you can get a triple pack of them. So definitely give the games a shot if you're looking for a unique experience.
I did see like some of the comedy and like gifs and stuff. It's pretty funny from what I've seen.
Cool. Rad. What's your number 5?
So my number 5 is Final Fantasy IV for
Nice.
the DS. There's obviously there's many remakes, of course, of that game for different systems, but the two more populars are the PSP one and the DS one. Um, so I think both are very valid options. If you want like the more content, then you should go with the PSP one with the 2D sprites as well. But if you're looking for for the 3D version of the game, um, which actually higher difficulty, I remember this game is actually difficult, very difficult compared to the others. Yeah, this is a very good version as well. I mean, there's there's not much to say about Final Fantasy IV at this point. Like, it is a great game. Probably the first great Final Fantasy game in the franchise. Um, so yeah, that's my number 5. Have you guys tried that version, the DS version?
I've tried it. I
Oh,
liked it. I
no,
like that
never
it
played it.
has 3D and voice acting, but I prefer the PSP version.
Me too. Yeah, I prefer the PSP version, but I enjoy the DS as well. It has his his unique stuff as well.
PSP version is also 3D.
No, that's in 2D. That has the 2D
Yeah.
sprites. It look the 2D sprites are beautiful, to be honest.
Interesting enough, though, the 3D version of Final Fantasy 3 is on the PSP. The same one that's on the DS, but
Mhm.
the Final Fantasy 4 version is just is 2D with updated sprites.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I bet
Yep.
that looks like not so good for a PSP game.
It looks a little off.
Yeah.
Probably a mobile port, right?
Yeah, I
I think that
played
game is on the
3.
phone too. It's on
Yeah.
Steam. It's on everything.
Like Final Fantasy 1 through 9 are all on the phone. So you just
Actually, the
have to
3D
pay.
version of Final Fantasy 4 is also on Steam.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Good pick though. All right, that brings us back around to Mr. Hope again for number 4.
And Nick, I'm sorry. I get a feeling that you may have chosen this. This game right here, this is Mega Man ZX Advent. So, this game, if you're a big Mega Man fan, then you would understand really the series that preceded this was the Zero series, and ZX came after it. This is a true evolution of the Mega Man series, quite frankly. You see, typical Mega Man formula is to choose a boss, do the level, kill the boss, get the upgrade, repeat, right?
Yep.
Mega Man Zero added a bit of roaming here and there, but you know, it was whatever. This game actually drops you in this world and gives you the freedom to go wherever you please. So if you went to the right and down, there's going to be a level there that you go to and you do a boss and you get the upgrade, and then you backtrack or you go to another level from another level. It's wrong to call it open world, but there's a lot of just freedom that you have in this, and it's great. It's still a Mega Man game at heart, you know. Very fast-paced platforming, great music, great sound effects. It has awesome anime cutscenes. I remember that was mind-blowing on the DS of all things. Yeah, it's a great game. ZX was before this, but I chose Advent because the bosses you kill, you actually transform into the bosses, which is just, I'm a sucker for shape shifting, so that's my shit, man.
That was I think they took like more of a kind of Metroidvania type approach to it as opposed to like the original. I haven't played that one, but that's why I heard they offered a lot more freedom to it. And a lot of people loved it. I love the Mega Man Zero series, so I I'm looking forward to trying that one. I'm just slowly working my way through the rest of the Mega Mans first.
You're not wrong, actually, now that I think about it. It is somewhat of a Metroidvania approach because, for example, yes, you have the freedom, but some places you can't really explore unless you get like a boss transformation that lets you fly for a certain duration. So that's interesting. I didn't think of it like that. But yeah, that's my number 4. This game is awesome. I recommend it. And let me say one more thing. Sorry for taking so long.
Oh, you're good.
This was developed by Inti Creates.
Ah.
So look, we have Mega Man 11 that came out recently, but it didn't do much to advance the franchise. To be honest, it's just an HD Mega Man.
Yeah.
Now, if you want good experiences in the vein of ZX, then you get these 2 games right here: Azure Striker Gunvolt and Gunvolt Chronicles. Fantastic fucking games. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys make me want to get into Mega Man.
Yeah, actually, I have not played that either one of them, any of the Mega Man games for DS, like 0 of them, none.
Did you
So,
play Mega Man Zero?
no, I haven't played any of those.
Those are
Those games are
fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I need to
Fantastic.
play them because I love Mega Man X. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
That's the
Yeah.
only Mega Man I've played, the Mega Man X. Yeah,
The
as
whole
well.
X series is just phenomenal, except for 7. We don't talk about 7.
Well, look, X6 was also a dumpster fire of a game.
Huh.
Mega Man Zero is really a good continuation of the series. It's
Yes.
consistent with what made Mega Man so great. ZX did it as well, and then it just died. So
Right.
definitely go with Mega Man Zero.
Mega Man Zero's got some really good storylines too.
Yep, 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 yep.
Hmm. Cool. All right, my turn. My number 4 is Dragon Quest 9. Um,
Oh.
just throwing stuff. um, yeah, Dragon Quest 9. It's an interesting Dragon Quest. It's the only one where you customize your own character, which is kind of interesting. Um, you basically play as this like angel that like descended from heaven or whatever, celestial being or whatever. And yeah, just it's classic Dragon Quest and plays great on the DS. Um, Not much else to say about it, I guess.
And you could play with your friends.
Yes, I have not done that, but if any of you guys, in fact, is that's can you even still do that, or did they shut
They
down? That?
they shut that down, but there's
Okay.
like a fan hack or something that you can do to
Okay.
still access some of the content. So
That's a
Sure.
shame because I actually have the game. We could have done that.
Yeah, I think that game really needs to be on the Switch so people can play that again in multiplayer.
a remake or remaster rather
Right, yeah.
would look good.
Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, that's that's the before Dragon Quest 11. That's the last main Dragon Quest that we
Yeah.
got because 10 is MMO. So
Right.
Right.
we gotten only remakes and remasters of previous games. But
Yeah.
I wasn't too big on that one simply because it was like your party didn't really have any character to them, and I just kind of felt left out on like some of the charm that Dragon Quest has
Yeah.
in its characters. But it's a solid game. I enjoyed what I played of it. I just didn't have the motivation to complete the game.
that's the
Sure.
trade-off. Yeah, that's the trade-off. That it is hard to put personality on the characters when you try to that approach.
Hmm.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. So
Dragon Quest 8 just had so much. It's
yeah,
well, it had some big footsteps to follow. So
yes, Dragon Quest 8 is a masterpiece.
yes,
So yep, that's my number 4. Let's see, it was sorry, I lost track. It's Nick, right? I think you're after me.
yes, I
Okay,
think so.
go for it.
Um, so for number 4, I'm going to go with probably one of my favorite monster collecting games all time, and that is Dragon Quest Monsters, because it is a fantastic little game. It actually offers a little bit of a story, kind of like Pokemon, but it culminates into like a uh, more high stakes event than Pokemon does. So I just I love the little bit of story that helps drive it forward. It had 3D, some of the best graphics on the DS, in my opinion. Uh, can't really show it very well here, but it's a fantastic game. It offers a lot of the skill trees and stuff that you get from like Dragon Quest 8 to allow for customization of each of your monsters, how you want to build them. Uh, let's see how does it say how many? Uh, Over 200 monsters. It's just it's 3D Dragon Quest, solid action, turn-based RPG. You have a team of monsters to control, not just one. You have three. Um, and I played the original on the Game Boy Color, and it felt like such a evolution of what they originally had. It just has all the quirky characters from Dragon Quest, all the monsters, and it's just you come to grow attached to these little guys as you go throughout your game, and you just synthesize them to make bigger, better monsters and everything. Just about dropped my phone. But yeah, it's a fantastic game, well made, and I actually went through completion on this game, and it was fantastic. Right, I never actually played the sequel. I have it waiting in the backlog, but um, It's a fantastic series if you've never tried it, and I'd give it a go if you like monster collecting games.
Yeah, we were mentioning the other day that we didn't get the last Dragon Quest monsters, right? Like,
Yes, they released only in Japan
yeah.
for Dragon Quest Monsters 3. Uh, it was or Joker 3. There's like Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, and then there's Dragon Quest Monsters. So, but Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, I think it was a 3DS game that we never received, and it just took the graphics that much further, and it looked like it had an interesting story to kind of flesh out with these characters. I played a little of the second for Joker too, and it takes the story and it kind of puts you more of a adventure than like you're going to different regions, kind of like Pokemon, and it just felt like a evolution of the game, and I would love to see how they've taken that a step further, but only in Japan, unless you like feel downloading a fan hack. So
Sure. Cool. Callie.
So, my number 4 title is a game that I wish they made more of. The one for Wii U wasn't, I mean, it was okay, but the DS one, Kirby's Canvas Curse. Have you guys
hmm.
played that?
That
It's
game is amazing.
it's so good. So instead of you moving Kirby with like your normal controls, you have to draw a rainbow where you want him to go, and you use the stylus to play the entire game. It was almost one of the launch titles for the DS, and it really showed just how innovative Nintendo is with their games. Uh, I'm a big Kirby fan. I own almost every Kirby game that's ever been made. I don't own the newest one for Switch because it's trash, but if it ever goes on sale enough, I'll pick it up. I love the Kirby series,
Yeah.
and this one is probably one of the most unique titles in that you're not just going around and like eating other enemies and gaining their powers. You're like it's just cool. I can't explain what Canvas Curse is unless you have played it or seen it, but just imagine you have to just draw everything and there's different skills you have for drawing and it's cool. So
Hmm.
if you like unique games and you like Kirby, that if you really like using the stylus, it's probably one of the best ways to show off the stylus besides WarioWare on the system. So give it a look.
I passed on that one. I really love Kirby, but I saw the stylus use and I was like, ew.
I mean, you're allowed to believe that. It's kind of off-putting to some people. I could understand it.
Yeah.
But I passed on it, but I might give it a shot. I've never really tried it. I'll have to give it a go.
I say it's gimmicks done right, undoubtedly. By the way, Callie mentioned the Wii U version. That game was a dumpster fire, trash heap, nauseating, inducing. Uh, I that game was trash.
Hot trash.
It was an '89, man.
So
Yeah, it's
close.
so bad. 89. It's just so awful. I was sad because I loved Canvas Curse. I was like, oh, it's an oh, this what is this? This
Yep,
is
yep.
Mm,
it's a dumpster
Such a
fire.
disappointment.
I never even knew it released on the Wii U.
No,
It
no
was
one even knew the
it's
Wii U
another
existed. It's
sequel.
just a kind of a game. It's a
Yeah.
system that's so forgotten. Like they still need to bring over Xenoblade Chronicles X to the Switch. I'm just waiting. Actually, Happy Console Gamer, one of his biggest gaming regrets, his first thing on that video this week was that he never got to finish playing Xenoblade
I
X,
saw
and
that.
I'm like, ah, this
Mm.
person knows what he's talking about. It's the best Xenoblade game, best Xeno game ever.
It's
So
I
okay.
enjoy
Ports
watching
coming.
him.
Ports
it's
coming.
so good. Anyway, that's my number 4.
Cool, cool. All right, Rad.
So, so my number 4 is actually it is funny because it is actually the game I recommend the most from my list because objectively from my list I think it is the better game. But in my personal list, it's number 4 because I'm attached to the other 3 and because I'm allowed to be subjective. So number
Totally.
4, number um, that game is so good. The battle system is amazing. The story.
Brad, could you say it again? I think you cut out for a second. There.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
just for the entire title.
Oh, really? Gotcha.
You
So
got us in suspense.
so my number. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
So my number 4 is Radiant Historia.
Nice.
Radiant Historia. So everything in that game is so good. Like the story, the battle system, the characters, the premise. It's just so unique, so original. You know, how you're able to fix the mistakes of the time that you're living. You know, you are actually this spy between two superpowers that are in a conflict at the moment, and things go wrong like really quickly, and you discover this book that allows you to rewrite history, and that dynamic is so addictive and so good, you know. And the remake for the 3DS is even better, but the version of the DS is still amazing. So yeah, that's my
The,
number 4.
the only reason that game is not in my list is because I only played it on the 3DS.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I
go ahead.
love Radiant Historia.
Yeah, I mean, it is such a fantastic game, in every sense. If you haven't played that game, I mean, you should give it a try at least, because it is top notch.
Yeah.
I
Very
need to
underrated.
pick that up. Yeah. I know Eric recommends it like all the time. So
Yeah.
I almost picked it up, and then like COVID hit, and then I was like, well, crap.
Yeah, I think it
So
needs to go on Eric's list of games he constantly recommends, but nobody listens.
yeah, yeah. I, I I was also trying to buy up like all the SMT games for the 3DS. So
Yeah, those are expensive.
yeah, I was trying to get ahead of the curve.
Cool. Yeah, good choice, Rad. That's a good one. All right, Mr. Hope, number 3.
My number 3 would. I'm gonna go with Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Yeah.
Nice.
This was actually my first Mario RPG.
Okay.
And I have played the others. I have played the Super Nintendo Mario RPG, but I do like this DS game better. And the game's just great. It's gosh, it has a great battle system. It's got again, like Phoenix Wright, it has top tier comedy. Almost every line is just hilarious.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's just I don't know what else to say other than it's great. It's your favorite childhood platformer in an RPG game, right? It's great.
Yeah.
And this one actually didn't just have Mario and Luigi. It had the baby versions of them as your party members as well. And you didn't really control 4 people, but you kind of used both of them in your attacks. It was really cool, man. Great game.
Good stuff.
It's seemed like an evolution of the Game Boy Advance game, which was one of my favorites, Superstar Saga, and I love the Baby Mario and everything included from like Yoshi's Island.
I'm trying to think the top screen stuff. It did do dual screen stuff, but it was nothing like innovative. Like Callie was saying with Canvas Curse, that's a gimmick done right. This one kind of felt forced, but it was still really good. I just, like you said, it evolved the series. I'm just trying to think of how it really push the series forward. I don't know.
I think probably just more the inclusion of like the babies, and they kind of make you utilize like the DS buttons more.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. There's an attack where Mario and Luigi they throw the babies up in the air, and they kind of arc, and you see them on the top screen, and then they go down and hit the enemy. It's great, man. It's great.
I was
It's a
just
very
thinking about
efficient.
that.
It's a really efficient way to population control.
I was just thinking like I can't think of another game where you really just throw babies at people.
I need to play this game. Like that has to be at least a 90 out of 100 just for that alone.
That
Yeah, that
attack
game would probably
though.
be rated teen in today's culture.
No, no, no. In today's culture, it would be like adults only. It'd be AO. Let's be honest.
That game though, like that attack rather, it's stuff like that for me was very hard to do. Like you have to track it like between the gap in the screens, and then it would just throw me all off because you
Yeah,
got the action timing, and it, it's not. It can be a tough game at times.
yep.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
love
I need
those
to get
games.
into the Mario and Luigi games. I haven't played any of them.
They're fantastic.
I have to as well. I mean, since I enjoy Paper Mario a lot, and I cannot believe I haven't played those games yet.
Yeah.
Well, they remade like the DS and GBA games for the
Are they still pretty
3DS.
reasonably priced?
Fairly, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
the one I just mentioned is. See, I didn't show a picture of it because I don't own it anymore, and it's
Okay.
stupidly priced right now.
Really?
It's like 200 Canadian.
Oof.
What? I got it for like $20.
Sheesh.
Partners in
You see,
Time.
this means that you lucked out for once, Nick. You actually got ahead of COVID.
I know. It's crazy. I didn't buy it that long ago, but
Looking at it, I'm using my bot
You
right
know
now.
what? Correction.
37 complete in box US dollars. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
actually, it looks like it dropped. Interesting. I see a
Hmm.
$50 copy here.
huh.
Good thing we talked about this. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, this is the only one I don't think that they've made a 3DS remaster for. I think the only available version is Partners in Time.
They didn't. You're right. They didn't remake Partners in Time on 3DS. Everything else was remade though. Bowser's Inside Story in the first one.
Yeah.
With new content and stuff.
Yep.
That says a lot to how good they were that they would do that.
Yep. That
Cool.
whole series is good.
Very cool. All right. So my number 3 is a little bit of a guilty pleasure. So when I was a kid, like I said, I didn't have a DS. My sister did though. And she had Animal Crossing Wild World. I would beg her to play Animal Crossing all the time because like watching her play it, it just looked so freaking amazing. Like you customize your town. Like when it was Christmas time, it was snowing and they had little events for all the different holidays based on the time of year it was. I loved playing that game, but my sister was always very greedy with her DS and would not let me play it very often. So that's my number 3 pick is Animal Crossing Wild World.
It reminds me of my sister because she has a Switch with 2 games, Animal Crossing and Story of Seasons.
Yeah.
So that's all she plays.
Yeah, that's funny. That my sister even today, like she's not a gamer at all, but like she played Wild World, and then like she has a Switch now, and like same thing, Rad. Like she only plays like Animal Crossing and Mario Party with when she has friends over and stuff like that. Like doesn't play anything else. So yeah, it's crazy how hardcore Animal Crossing fans are, and a lot of them aren't even gamers.
Right. Like
Yeah.
one of my best friend's parents used to always like kind of laugh at us playing video games, and then he introduced her to Animal Crossing, and she still plays it. Like she, she played it till the Wii like burn out whenever they had the Wii version, and then she's like, "Hey, your thingy died. Can you get me another?"
Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
crazy.
I didn't get the new one because I feel like that's a game that I probably would like sink a lot of hours into and not
But
play anything else.
you see, you see, Lane, that's okay because you have so much free time.
Well,
So,
that while that's true, I'm very selective of what I do with it. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
so Wayne, uh, I'm coming from the GameCube version of Animal Crossing, which
Okay.
I really enjoyed. I also
Okay.
sunk who knows how many hours into that.
Yeah.
But I did buy the 3DS version, and I want to tell you a heads up. If you do
Okay.
try to get the Switch version, man, the 3DS version, you can get all your shit. You can pay off all your bills to Tom Nook with almost zero effort. They've made it way too easy.
Oh, really? That's New
Yeah,
Leaf, right? New Leaf is the one on the 3DS.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I would assume that they did the same on Switch, right?
Yeah.
So just a heads up, it's
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah. Mortgage simulator. Yeah.
Only it was
Freaking.
that easy to pay off your mortgage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. So that's my number 3. Nick, what's yours?
My number 3 would be crap. I screwed up my list because I wanted to do an honorable mention. Uh,
We can come back to you if you need to think about it for a
no,
second.
no,
Okay.
I know what I want. I'm just gonna say any of the Square Enix remakes are fantastic
Yeah.
because this would be my other. Final Fantasy IV would be my 3, but I need to mention Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. I was never really introduced into like Symphony of the Night type Castlevania game until Portrait of Ruin, and I loved it. I played the crap out of it. It is one of the first games I ever almost 100%ed. I got like 99.4 or whatever from the max. If it does the 100%, it was like 194. I got like this close to it, but there's some places I just couldn't figure out. I loved that game. The dark atmosphere, the characters, the story. Uh, it's just a fantastic game. Some people might not like it if they're like hardcore Castlevania fans as much, I think, but it it was like the first time I had RPG mechanics introduced to the Castlevania formula, and I loved it. I played the original Castlevanias back on the Super Nintendo, and well, maybe not the original Castlevanias. It's been around for a while, but uh, I remember playing like Castlevania 4 or Super Castlevania, and like it was hard as nails and beat me into the dirt. And I loved the game. I just couldn't beat it. And then like here's Portrait of Ruin. It's like, hey, if it's too hard, you can grind a little. I was like, ooh. So I grinded. I beat that game. I like completed it. It was almost completed it, and it was a fantastic time. Just the bosses, the enemies, the dark atmosphere, characters. It's a very well done game, I'll say.
So you're gonna hate me for this, but of the Castlevania games on DS, I think that is my least favorite of the three.
Like I said,
So it's 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 a decent game, but the other two, have you played the other two? Have you played Order of Ecclesia and Dawn of Sorrow?
no, I
No?
didn't. I missed
Okay,
out.
well, you picked up one of them. I would recommend the other two because the other two are just stellar.
I heard Order of Ecclesia is more in line with like the traditional Castlevania difficulty.
It's stupid hard. Ecclesia
Yeah,
is like it is tough, very
yeah.
tough.
That's kind of why I didn't pick it up at release, and now I really hate it because it's like $50, $70 now, something like that.
Oof.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like
All those.
$70 like 7 months ago. I don't even want to look at the price now.
Yeah,
Ecclesia's price is so dumb right now.
yeah. I love those games, and that's why I don't have it here because when I traded everything in, I lost it. So,
Yeah, trust me, I feel ya. Portrait of Ruin's one that I don't have anymore either. But I
mm,
played it. It was decent. It's just the other two, you really should give them a shot.
right. I want to pick them up, but I definitely want to play like on the console. I guess I could emulate it, but we'll see.
So I'm with you there, Nick. I played Dawn of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin, but I thought Portrait of Ruin was a better game. To
Hmm.
be honest, Callie,
It did release later, did it? Yeah.
Portrait of
Yeah,
Ruin
it was the
released
second game.
after.
Yeah, it was the second game. It was Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait, and then Order of Ecclesia was the last.
But Dawn of Sorrow is like the continuation of like Aria of Sorrow or
That is
something.
correct, and Aria the
Yeah.
Sorrow was freaking stellar. So
Yeah.
good.
I emulated a fair bit of that game and I loved it, but I just never finished it because my computer died. But
Shoot.
I enjoy like all the newer Castlevania games pretty much. I would love to see them make another.
You say newer ones, does that include Lords of Shadow on PS3 and Xbox 360?
What is it?
Oh, the 3D one? That's the 3D
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, they're they're
Oh,
uh ooh, they're rough. I'm good.
I
Castlevania
missed
I'm
out on
good.
God of
those.
War.
You're not
So,
missing much.
Nick, did you play Bloodstained?
I have it, but it's in the backlog.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so
that's as close as
so so,
Castlevania.
so Bloodstained, if you played it when it first came out, you could get a weapon that was as powerful as the Chrysogrim, but like a month after I beat it and got that, they nerfed the heck out of it.
No.
But
Hmm.
that because it was too broken. I mean, you had to go beat all of the extra bosses to get it. So by the time you got it, it was the end of the game. So I don't know why they had to nerf it, but you just steamrolled everything once you got it.
Hmm.
When you install it, just don't connect to the internet. Then you don't patch it.
So if you
There you
don't
go.
patch it, there is a bug at the beginning. Well, kind of in the middle. There's a chest. If you try to open it, that it will lock your progress and you can never go forward. Even if you get the patch, you have to start the game over. So you have to
That
patch it.
sucks.
Yep. Small indie company.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what happens.
Play it, Nick. Play it.
Oh, I want to say, you guys mentioned Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, but there's also Curse of the Moon,
Hmm.
which is more of a traditional
Hmm.
Castlevania.
Yeah.
I would say that one's pretty good as well. I liked it.
I know a lot of people liked it. I'm not really a fan of the older Castlevanias. They stomped me into the dirt too hard, too many times.
Cool. All right,
Okay.
Callie.
All right. So my number three game, of course it's a rhythm game. I posted a video in Discord so you guys can go see what the heck this is. It is Osu Tatakai Owendan. It is the Japanese version of Elite Beat Agents, which the Japanese version is so much better. They made sequels to it. It's such a good game. Uh, I love rhythm games. You guys all know that. I suck at Osu on PC. I've tried it. It's I can't click that fast, but the stylus controls were really good. Like I like the Project Diva series, the Hatsune Miku game on the handhelds, but it if you haven't played Osu Tatakaya Wendai, you don't even know what it's like. That's why I sent you guys a video. So the only way to explain it is that you're this cheerleading squad in Japan that is going around trying to help people with their like over the top ridiculous problems. And they do it by
Yeah.
like cheering and get them all excited to fix the problems. And then it's you just go watch the video I posted and it's just a mess. The game's cool. It's fun. I guarantee no one in this whole scene of people has seen it. Um, it's good. Give it a shot if you like rhythm games.
I actually bought Elite Beat Agents to sell, and I just popped it in to try it. That game is hard.
It
Like
is, yeah.
I had like every level beaten on hard mode. I'm very good at rhythm games usually. So,
It is over the top ridiculousness, though. I remember one level where they're like fighting aliens or something.
yep, it's such a
Yeah.
mess, but it's a fun time. And they picked actual songs from different Japanese artists. They redid them, so like they had cover bands do everything. So it's not the actual band, so they didn't have to pay all the exact royalties. It's
Right.
kind of cheating, but anyway, it's a fun time. I recommend you guys give it a look. At least go watch the video that I posted.
Yeah, they're great games.
Interesting. Okay, Rad, you're up.
So my number 3 is Dragon Quest V. Um, Dragon Quest V is one of my favorite in the franchise. Actually, I think I always have a hard time making my top 3 Dragon Quest games between 11, 8, and 5.
Mm.
But yeah, it is a great game. Like one of my favorite stories in the franchise. Um, in this one you get to collect monsters as well, so that could be a turn off or on depending on your preference. I love monster games, so I was fine with that. Um, yeah, you get the chance to see the protagonist, like on when he's a kid, then when he's a young adult, and when he's older than that. And yeah, it is a as different from Dragon Quest that you could be. That's what Dragon Quest V is, which traditionally is a series that stays faithful to what it is.
Yeah.
They try some stuff that they didn't dare to do before, and I think it worked. And but they still have the Dragon Quest feeling. Um, so have you guys tried Dragon Quest V, and what's your opinion
Oh
on
yeah,
that game?
it's coming up.
Oh, it's coming
I
up.
I've not played it. I haven't played it.
I haven't played 5, but I played 4, and I really like 4. So, and Dragon Quest 5 is also what spawned the Dragon Quest Monsters series.
Okay.
So it's got a special place in my heart for that reason alone.
And if you don't like monsters, you can actually you have enough party members to not use monsters,
Exactly.
Yeah,
which is cool.
that's like literally the only thing I don't really like about the game is the monster stuff. But other than that, it's a fantastic game.
Well, I think that's like the perfect way to do it. That way you have the chance to get to know the characters and
Hmm.
everything, to develop that connection if you want. And then you've also got the monsters to collect if you so choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of necessary early game though. Is the thing.
Right. Right. I mean, but at the beginning, you don't have like an overwhelming amount of monsters to catch either. So,
That is
um,
also true.
when the game opens up for you to catch everything, that's when you have a choice. Let's
Yeah.
say, put it that way. And you get to marry. You have 3 options, I think, right? Yeah, 3 options
Yep.
to marry, and it definitely changes the dialogues and everything else
Yeah.
depending on your choices, because
Mhm.
yeah, the brides, they have different, very different personalities, which makes the replay value of the game like really high. So yeah,
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the movie?
I,
Interesting.
I have not
Mm-mm.
yet. That's the scene that I haven't watched that yet.
It's looks really good.
Yeah. since I know the story, I figured, but I need to watch it anyway. So, but yeah, that's my number 3. Sorry, Lane.
No worries, man. I'm glad it's on your list too. All right. Hope. Let's see. We're on our number 2 now. What's your number 2 DS game?
My number 2 is Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime. This game is it's great. You play as the slime, and you traverse through towns. It's like an RPG. I don't think there's any leveling or anything like that, but you traverse through towns, this big world, and it's got a great battle system as well. Like the way it works is you've got your mech, this giant friggin' mech, fighting against the enemy's giant mech. But the cool thing is you can man any of the rockets on your mech, or you can actually get out of your mech, travel to the enemy's mech, hijack it, kill the people manning their rockets to stop their line of attack. And you could basically just destroy everyone inside their mech while you got your guys blowing up their mech, right? It's great. And yeah, you know what's also cool? It's got a multiplayer mode. So mech versus mech. I remember I went to an anime convention and I played this against like 10 random people. It was great. It's fun. There is a prequel on Game Boy. Sorry, not prequel. There's a game before this on Game Boy Advance, only in Japan, and also a sequel on 3DS, only in Japan.
Yeah.
But they are fan translated. So, actually, no, not fully fan translated, but they're a work in progress. I'm looking forward to those, honestly.
I've seen it around and it looks like a lot of fun. I just never took the plunge to try it.
Not even like an avid Dragon Quest player, person, fan. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I really started with this, and it's great. I think someone like you, or Rad as well, I'm learning Lane is a Dragon Quest guy too. You guys would love this game.
Sweet.
Don't worry, they're
Good
landing
stuff.
on soft cushion, okay?
I figured.
Yeah.
Everything is staged.
Yeah. We don't tolerate abuse on this podcast.
That's why it's off screen.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 2 is Dragon Quest V. Also, well, I guess it's Rad's number 3. It's my number 2. And Rad said it all. I love the fact that you started out as a kid and you become a young adult, then a adult later. You get married. You choose between 3 waifus, and yeah, it's a fantastic game. Great story of coming of age, of the main character, and yeah, the movie is fantastic too. Highly recommend watching that. It looks great. It's pretty. I don't know if I'd say it was super faithful to the game, but it's still a pretty good movie. So if you're a Dragon Quest fan, so yeah, I don't know what else to say about it that hasn't already been said.
I
Good
guess
stuff.
I forgot to mention that that you get, so when you marry the bride, you get to fight alongside her. So
Yes, joins the party.
marrying, like, and every candidate, they have different play styles. So you have to think about that as well. Like if you want a heavy hitter, or if you want some like a healer, or so that's another incentive to replay the game.
So who's the best wife, Rad?
Oh man, I think I'm going canon here just because, but probably yeah. I'll stay
Now,
canon.
is canon? Is it Bianca is canon, right?
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay, yep, yeah, that's who I went with as well.
Mhm.
So it's a great game. Yeah, Nick, what's your number two?
All right. It's pretty well renowned, but some people still haven't really tried it. It's kind of a different game, and to me, it just showed how unique the Nintendo DS could be. And the game is The World Ends with You.
Nice.
Yep,
It's
that was
Great
my
game.
honorable mention. If I had a sixth spot, that was it.
I love this game. It utilizes the touch screen and the uh, D-pad in a way that made use of the system to its fullest, in my opinion. Made use of the double screens. It just had so many innovative things with it that you really don't see in an RPG. And I love the character and the development, the plot. It's not something you see very often in an RPG. It's in an urban setting. Um, for a background on the game, the characters take place in a Reaper's game that you have like 7 days to complete, or you die basically. And it's high tensions. Characters have to get to know each other real quick. There's like a trial every day, and it's just a lot of things that you don't normally see in an RPG, paired with a unique story, a very unique art style too. It's almost comic book like. It's actually getting an anime adaptation, if you didn't know about that, here shortly. So hopefully they do the game justice. But this game has a lot of unique features, like you equip pins, and those pins are how you attack. And depending on which pins, it's like you have to perform a unique motion with the stylus, maybe a button press or something, and it just determines how you play the battles in each fight. And you also equip like articles of clothing of different brands. And the more you fight with those brands, it tends to popularize the brands and the districts that you fight. And depending on if the brand is in or whatever with the popularity at the time, you'll get like certain bonuses. You gain levels. You can change the difficulty of the like you have like an increased drop rate depending on how low you set your level. Like if you're at level 50, you can set your level to level 25. You'll have the health of as if you're level 25, but you'll have like a drop rate increase and etc. to incentivize like a more challenging style of play. And it's a very well done story with lots of character development. I'll say almost kind of like Final Fantasy VIII. May not be everybody's cup of tea, but the main character is kind of moody at first, but he kind of grows and opens up throughout the game. And I just recommend it. Approach it with like an open mind, and you should be fine. I think it is an excellent game, and I go back to play it every now and then. Just I love that game so much.
It had a really.
That one's also on the Switch.
Oh, that Switch port is trash. Avoid
Is it
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
loss.
Really?
It has the best graphics, but yeah,
It's try to replicate the gameplay of the Nintendo DS with
I
two
didn't know that.
screens. Yeah, on the Switch.
DS is the best version in my opinion
Okay, good to
because
know. I'm glad you mentioned that.
I didn't know about that game until I played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance actually.
exactly that's
Yeah.
why I want that game so much.
Yeah. So had you played that one?
No, I missed out because I never got
That's
a
cool. You're gonna
3DS.
enjoy that game much more, like knowing those characters already.
Exactly.
Mhm. Cool, man. That's a game I need to play at some point as well.
It
And
has
I have more stuff to say about that game and the Kingdom Hearts universe, but I'll wait until you play 3.
Oh, I'll get there. I'm definitely continuing the series now.
Cool. Okay, Callie, what's your
Okay.
number 2?
Okay. Well, I'm sure Rad's gonna agree with this one. It's probably one of the greatest games of the series ever made, and that is Pokemon Soul Silver. This is the
Hmm.
best. It is the definitive Pokemon game that's ever been released. It's. I don't know what I could say about it that hasn't already been said on this podcast. If you like Pokemon at all, and you want the best Pokemon game, go play Heart Gold or Soul Silver. I still need Soul Silver. I have Heart Gold, but I still need to pick up Soul Silver again. I don't have it anymore. It's it's just so good. They improved the graphics, they added systems to it. You get to go through like 2 full sets of badges from Gen 2 and then Gen 1 and fight Rat. Like there's just guys, it's so good. Just if you like Pokemon and you can play the game, you need to go get it and play it. That's all I have to say.
Fantastic choice. I agree 100%.
Yeah. I've not played that version. From what I understand, I'm looking up the price of it right now.
Yeah,
They're
it's
pricey.
not
They're pricey.
cheap.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pricey right now, but
Well, Hope,
it,
what?
it was pricey before COVID, so
Oof.
Yeah, yeah,
$83.59
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
They added
yeah,
like
for Heart Gold.
yeah.
yeah, before all this situation, I saw them like at 45, 50 at some point, and I didn't pull the trigger, which I regret.
Oh, that was PAL. The the North American is 108.
Right,
Oh.
right. Wow, really?
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's pricey. Oh,
And
it's
that's usually
expensive.
trailing a couple dollars behind of what's going at the COVID tax. So
Yeah, I think the price charting is taking like the average, so it's not really
yeah,
taking into consideration a lot of the more recent sales.
it's close, but
Yeah, but if you go on the website, and maybe I could add this to the bot, they actually show a list of the last several transactions, so you can
yeah,
kind of get an idea of what exactly it sold for the last time.
yep.
Because I think
So,
the CIB and all that
yeah,
is kind of they average it based on a monthly basis, I think.
Yeah, I know it's pretty close.
Yeah.
so Hope, number one. What's your number one game?
Hold up.
Oh, no, sorry.
Rad's number 2.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Did I skip Rad?
Who's in
Oh,
charge
I'm
here?
so sorry. I'll shut up.
You're fine, Kyle. You know why? Because my number 2 is actually the Pokemon franchise in general. I wanted to do a single slot because if not, this would be like Pokemon like 80% of it.
Fair
So
enough.
so as Kali mentioned, um, everything about Heart Gold and Soul Silver, those games are fantastic, of course, and that will add, of course, like Pokemon Platinum and
Yeah,
that generation is really
Platinum.
good.
Platinum, I was like, I can only have one slot for Pokemon, so is it Platinum or so? They're both so good. They're so
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
And even the reboot, the fifth generation, like Pokemon Black and White, they're really underrated. The when it released, people were skeptical because they actually did a whole reboot of, you could not catch any previous Pokemon for the whole game until the end game. And at the time that was controversial, but when you go back to those games, they're really good as well. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Solid pick. All right, the moment of truth. What is the best DS game, Hope?
So this game is localized only in PAL territories. It goes by the name of Yeast Strategy. Best
Best game. Best game.
I was going to choose Heroes of Mana, but I went with Yeast Strategy. But no, really, I would
He
go
has.
with this
Oh,
999.
okay.
9 doors, 9 persons, 9 whatever the hell. Whoops. Anyway, this game is just, it's great. It it's a puzzle slash VN. There's a heavy amount of reading. Nick, I know you were saying before you were worried about Phoenix Wright being too dialogue heavy. That freaking game is dialogue heavy, man. But it's so interesting, the entire story. So the main flow really is you kind of read what's going on. You do a puzzle because you're stuck inside some room, and you read again, and it repeats. But you kind of choose which direction to go as you're reading. So stuff changes around like that, and yeah, like it's just a batshit insane story. That's all I have to say. It's a wild ride, and I don't know if Callie you've played it, but it tackles like
No,
you
I was
you
about
say
to
you're
yeah, I was about to jump in and say, hey, is it anything crazy like 13 Sentinels? Because if so, I need to play it.
so 13 Sentinels topped it, but yes, it is like it. It tackles a lot of biology slash physics concepts, takes it to the next level. It's so good. It has a sequel as well, Virtue's Last Reward, which is even better actually, and a third game which is meh, but I would definitely recommend that game and the trilogy. It's called the Zero Escape trilogy if you're curious.
Yep, I've heard of
Yeah,
that trilogy. I'm gonna have to try this out because I absolutely loved 13 Sentinel story. It was bonkers.
it's on
So
PlayStation 4 too, right?
it is, yeah, for sure. It's on Vita and PS4. It's called the Nonary Games, I think. It's a
Yeah.
double pack of 999 and Virtue's Last Reward.
Okay.
I have to look into that. I'm now
So
interested.
look, all I want to say is I don't know if I can recommend the PS4 version because I think 999 on PS4 is actually a port of the mobile version. And the mobile version it's the epitome of 89 hot trash. So
I cannot wait until I get to that new emote on Twitch to have 89. I'm so excited. Like, you guys have no idea.
you know what? I'm gonna do some reading on the PS4 version and I'll get back to you. But right now, all I'll say is like I recommend the DS version. Absolutely, that game is perfection.
Hmm. I I was very hesitant with like dialogue heavy games. Like, would not get into them at all until I tried Soccer Wars, and I know that's kind of silly, but like it really offers some replayability, and if the story's good, then I'm in. So
Yeah, go for it, man. For
Legend of
sure.
Heroes, man. If you like dialogue,
The Legend of
that's where it's
Heroes
out.
Trails in the Sky Bell Zero Azure Steel go.
So
mine's
All of
in
the
there.
above.
Nick, you
In
should
that
play
order,
13
though.
Sentinels then, because that is insanely crazy.
I'll wait till it dies down, and then I'll just stream my playthrough
So
because I
I gotta
tried.
say, guys, if you're gonna try the Kaseki series now that I've went through as much of the story that I've went through, do yourself a favor and start with Sky FC. Okay? Just I like the fact that now I finished SC and I'm like halfway through the story and the third, just knowing the story, like CS4 makes so much more sense. I'm like, oh, here's the thing. Here's why the people are doing this stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah, even though I haven't played the Crossbell games, I'm like, I'm still lost. I'm like, what is this person
yeah,
doing? What happened? There's just so much story.
yeah. I
Yeah.
completely agree with Callie. I understand if people don't want to go back that far, but you will be glad that you did if you're willing to. Um, and
And
if
if
it's there's no shame in
yeah,
just watching summaries, watching other people play it on YouTube, but do yourself a favor and get familiar with the history before you go into Cold Steel, because it makes Cold Steel much better if you have that background on, because they have so many nods and references to the older games throughout the game that if you've not played them, you will not pick up on them.
Like, I don't know, the one that made me so excited today is Gilbert. That's all I have to say. I laughed so hard. I hope you did too, Lane.
Oh yeah, that was a good surprise for sure. He was hilarious in Sky. So
That's just kind of sad because I know it'll probably be like 2024 by the time they localize all those games.
So we're only missing 2 of them. That's it. Just 2. And there's rumor they're coming out next year.
I did see something about one of them getting localized, at least for the Switch.
Mhm.
Like they are releasing it for like every a lot of countries, just not in English. So
See what Eric
Falcom.
said? Lunar
Falcom.
Dragon Song is worse than Yeast Strategy.
Oh, wow.
Lunar has no redeeming features whatsoever.
That's a bold statement. Wow.
Okay, so my number one is mainly based on nostalgia, and it's Mario Kart DS. So I remember I had cousins that would come over. They all had DSs, and the nice thing about Mario Kart DS was you only had to have one cart, and you could play it with all of your friends. And we would play Mario Kart like 5 or 6 of us for just hours. Like that was what we did when we got together, was played Mario Kart DS. And I have so many fond memories of playing that game. And that was kind of my first introduction to Mario Kart as a kid. And God, it's such a good game. So
Yeah,
and I
you know,
loved that you were able to play that with only one cart. That was so awesome.
it's still
Right.
arguably
Everyone
one of
else
the
had
best
to
Mario
play as
Karts.
Yeah.
everyone else was forced to play as a shy guy for the downloaders, right?
Yeah, I think so, but yeah. Still though, I mean, just I wish more games would do that still. It's unfortunate, but
That was my
Yeah.
honorable mention. Yeah.
I
Mario
mean,
Kart DS.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's a great way to sell a system. Hey, you can buy this one game and everybody can play with you.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Just go over to your friend's house if you got if you have a DS, everybody can play.
Yeah,
We
first problem, you have to have friends. So,
well, I mean,
Like
we
in my
just
case, just family, siblings and cousins.
first thing you have to have is a family.
Look at how
just go
depressing
on
and
a
shit, Callie.
About that.
just
Okay.
go on a ski trip and play with random people on the bus.
Yeah, on the ski lift.
Yeah,
Or you're going back up the hill.
you guys act like you guys know this because we did it together. Up until we played Fall Guys that one time, I had never used the party function on PS3 or PS4 because I don't have friends I play stuff with. Like I never had. I was like, how the hell do I join a party? So the fact you're like, yeah, just go over with I'm like, I don't have these. Like I don't.
It's well, now you know. And I mean, seems like you've played a couple games since then, so
Yep.
And tomorrow, guys, tomorrow night, we are playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends with Nick and Gozu and maybe Rad if he comes on, and maybe Ray if she comes on. We'll get a party of 4. So I'll try to convince her to come instead of playing Call of Duty all day. We'll see. We'll see.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Oh, she's good. She's good stuff.
Call of Duty can be fun, but it can also be absolutely infuriating at times. So
I liked
I
Call of
get
Duty
that.
back in like the Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops days.
I liked
Kick
shooters
kick
back
them
in
Modern Warfare 2,
that
man.
that original That original Medal of Honor back on PS1, that was the stuff.
Oh, I played that.
Okay, Nick, what's the best game on the DS?
I think y'all know this one. I've
Oh,
said it
can I guess?
enough.
Oh
Can I
yeah.
guess? Can I guess?
Yeah, yeah,
Wait,
go ahead.
wait, is it a game from a series that you love? Is it
Yeah,
is
well,
it
it's
did
yeah,
they remake it and it's like
yeah,
$100 and
yeah.
you've played it like 8 million times?
It's something
It's
like
Four.
Tensei Megami Sin,
yeah,
Shin,
Yeah,
I
shit,
feel it.
very
I feel
similar.
it.
Survival
Okay,
Devil.
let's go.
Yeah.
And you know
Most
something?
strange journeys, right?
It's
Oh,
Shin,
Devil, yeah.
yeah, Shin Megami Tensei Devil
Oh,
Survivor.
God, I thought it was Strange Journey. I guess I was wrong.
Also abbreviated as SMT Desu. It's just a fantastic game. You've heard me talk about it. Anybody that's on the podcast probably, but it's got branching paths, different routes, and the story is actually different like each time depending on what path you choose. And it's not just the ending. It's like there's a couple like the path really deviates on the sixth day. There's 7 days the game takes place over, and it's let me give you background. For example, you're in Akihabara. You're in the Yamanote circle of Tokyo or something. Yeah, Tokyo, and you're locked down. Demons start popping up everywhere. Ish hits the fan. Everybody's like trying to survive. Devil Survivor. It's great. The characters are believable. There's like something a saying that's there's power in fantasy grounded in reality, and it just really sells this concept because like it's just logical thinking for each of the characters. It's not some absurd thing. We're gonna do it with the power of friendship. No, no, we need to get these things so we can survive. And it's like a believable story with fantastical elements, the demons, and it culminates in cataclysmic events each time, and it pulls from the Bible a lot. If may not be the best if you're devout religious, but it is a very good story. I cannot stress that enough. And just the fact that I've beaten this game 3 times, and I'm going back through it for a fourth. Uh, each time's different. Excellent story, excellent ending, excellent characters, gameplay. If you get the original on the DS, is hard as nails and will make you utilize each and every mechanic just to survive. You'll notice a recurring theme in this game is survival. Hence, Devil Survivor. But it's a fantastic game. If you haven't tried it, highly recommend it. I can't get enough of it. Wish they would continue it. Um, I've talked about it 100 times, so I'm gonna hand it off at that.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, the I really want to dig into the lore of Shin Megami Tensei some more because all the supernatural stuff is really interesting to me.
Yep, it's each they take certain liberties with like interpretations of the demons and stuff, and but they pull from the Bible for a lot of it, and it's just they take some of the stuff and you're like, holy crap, this is insane, and they throw it into it just takes everything like from biblical and stuff and then just puts a spin on it, and it's you gotta play it. You gotta play it.
Yeah, it's a good game. Also, the only reason it's not on my list is because I've only played it on the 3DS.
Well, that is fair, and that's probably the best edition. Going back through, I'm like, I'm playing on the original difficulty. I'm like, holy crap! I do not remember being it this hard. So, and that is very fair.
Yeah. I mean, 3DS version still kicks my ass. It's still a hard
Right.
game.
It it does not let you just grind through it. It makes you utilize strategies.
Yeah.
So
Especially the uh like the missions where you got to keep people alive and stuff.
oh yeah,
Those are the
absolutely.
freaking worst.
Worst.
Rescue missions, I guess they call them.
Escorts.
Yeah, escorts. Yeah, thank you.
I think there's some rescue ones too, but
Yes, those are hard.
yes, very.
Especially because I remember like there's a few where like I mean you even screw up on like the first 2 turns and it's over.
Oh yeah, if you have the wrong loadout at the beginning, yeah, game over.
Yep, it's a good game though.
Yeah.
Okay, Callie, what's the best game on the DS?
It is a sequel, actually. It is a sequel game. We talked about it a bit earlier. It's Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. I think it's probably the best Castlevania sequel they've ever made. Um, Aria of Sorrow on the Game Boy Advance was phenomenal. You're actually playing as the reincarnation of Dracula for that game.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Reincarnation of Dracula, and then Aria of Sorrow is where it starts. Then after that, the shit hits the fan, and you go to Dawn of Sorrow. Once you beat the game, you get like multiple different characters to play as, and
Hmm.
like I have beat the ever living crap. I still have the strategy guide for that game over there. Yep, I see it. It's right over top the Persona 3 and the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne strategy guides. Those are some really expensive guides now, by the
Oh,
way.
I bet.
I'm glad I got them when I first played those games. Speaking of which, Dawn of Sorrow, it's so good. Like they use the system of like the stylus. You had to draw the magic symbol to be able to kill bosses, which is really annoying when you are almost dead and you're like, ah, I can't draw it, and then you mess up and the
Right.
boss kills you and you just want to throw it across the room. Um, but guys, it's really good. It's a really good game. Of the three on the DS, this one's my favorite. I would say Order of Ecclesia is number 2, and Portrait of Ruin is my third favorite. Sorry, Nick.
Oh, you're
Um,
fine.
but Dawn of Sorrow, it's top notch. Like it is the last Metroidvania style Castlevania game that they've made. It's the last one. So that the series, Order of Ecclesia was the last one, but this is the
Yeah.
last like really truly great one in my opinion. So if you haven't played it, give it a shot. It's not terribly expensive still, I don't think.
I
I think
think
it's
it's like 50.
oh really? I thought it was like 30 or 40 still.
I think they've all gone up now.
Uh, unfortunate. Well, if you do get a chance to play it, or if you have an R4 and you could download it, that'd be great. I just the Castlevania games, they're all good. So you can't go wrong with any of them. This is just my favorite.
They're great.
Stuff. Rad. What is the best game on the Nintendo DS?
So my favorite game on the Nintendo DS is
No, that's not what I asked you. I said, what's the best game?
oh,
Not
so
your
the
favorite.
best game. Okay, so the best game in the Nintendo DS is actually a game that many people call the best game ever created. Um, it is still like insane that we didn't get a sequel to that game, like a true sequel to that game ever. It has actually one of the highest Metacritic user scores
I think I
for
know what
hope
game
that
this is.
and that game is Cory on the House, based on the same sitcom, American sitcom Cory on the House.
Oh
Fantastic.
my
No.
God. I can't like I was expecting it. I was expecting Corey in the house, but I just
I didn't
I
lie
can't
though.
Oh,
Check it
I
it's,
out.
I
can't
I
knew
didn't
it.
I
lie.
can't
Check it
I
out.
can't
Check it
I
out. It has a
can't.
9.5 user
Are you
on Metacritic.
serious? Wow.
Yeah,
I felt it. I was like, here it comes.
it
Here
is
comes Corey
fantastic.
in the house. Oh, there it is. There it is.
So I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I've shared my repo with Mr. Hopeman, and he is adding Metacritic functionality to our Discord bot.
Oh, let's go. The bot is coming. The bot number 2 or number 3, I guess, or 2.
Gonna be
Oh,
exciting.
it'll be another plugin on
Oh, another
our
plugin.
current
Okay,
bot.
that's fine.
When he's
Uh,
done, I'll just have to deploy it.
Back to my number one. It is Chrono Trigger, guys. What else? Yeah. No more. There's nothing to say on top of that. That's my favorite game on the system. That's actually the version I played.
Okay.
It's actually
Nice.
the version I played, the DS version, and I loved it to pieces. And
Fantastic.
Chrono Cross is a great game as well, but we didn't get like a true sequel to Chrono Trigger. So I guess we need a sequel to both games, to Chrono Trigger, and we need Chrono Trigger 2 and Chrono Cross 2
And
at
we
some
need
point.
Corey in the house too. Yeah.
As well, as I said, I didn't lie. So yeah, that's my number one.
Katsuna, though. I mean, he's I listen to Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross music all the time.
Yeah, the music,
It's
battle
so
system,
they're
story,
so fantastic.
replay value,
Yeah.
everything. Masterpiece.
Okay. So you guys are gonna stab me for this. I have tried to get into Chrono Trigger like 4 times. I get like a handful of hours into it, and then I just stop playing. Like I own every version except for the Super Nintendo version. It's just I
Get
can't
out.
get into it.
Out. Get out.
I'll have to play it again. I've never made it like more than like 5 or 6 hours into the game, no matter how many times I start it.
Unacceptable.
Where's the
It's-
button to leave the meeting here?
Oh, I'm
Yeah, where's the
sorry.
kick button?
I haven't beaten it. I'm sorry. I'm a failure at life. I should go
Get
kill
out.
myself right
That's
now.
fine, Callie.
Oh
That's
Lord,
fine.
Sorry.
that's a little far.
One day you will. Maybe.
Yeah, it's on the list. I mean, I own it on Steam and PS1 and the DS version. I just haven't played it all the way.
So good.
Yeah, I've heard
Every time I
that.
think of Chrono Trigger, I want to play it again.
But guys, but there's games out there that I have so many.
Yeah. I think we'll get like a remake or something at some point, even if it is 2030 or something like that. So maybe that's the version you'll play. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could stream it on Steam
Yeah.
sometime, but right now I have Hades, so that's my
Nah,
Steam
but
game.
if you're gonna play the game, it's to beat it, not to stream it.
I
It's
don't think
to
you
finish it.
understand. I mean, if I'm gonna play an RPG, I'll stream the whole thing, except
Right.
for Fairy Tale where I got stuck. I'm like, oh, I have to watch the rest of the anime. I don't want spoilers because it follows the anime really close. I'm like, I can't. But I won the full DLC pack, so I have all the stuff. So whenever I finish the anime, I'll go back and play it.
So, did you see where like Atlas has streaming restrictions on Nocturne?
Yeah. Wait, what?
What?
Yes,
Why?
Wait. Can you repeat that?
Atlas has streaming restrictions on Nocturne.
Oh, no way, really?
Wait, what do you mean? Like I can't use my Elgato and stream it?
Possibly.
They probably
Well, that's
copyright claim
fine,
you, maybe.
because
Yeah,
I'm not buying it, so that's fine.
it's
What?
very similar to like what they did with Persona 5. But the thing is, Nocturne has been out for
It's a
how
freaking
many
PS2
years?
game. Why?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't plan on buying it, so it's okay.
I'm really
I would have
considering.
liked to have streamed it. I'm planning on getting it.
I'm really considering
Same.
when the game releases. I'm really considering playing the PS2 version. Like, be hyped with you guys and playing the PS2 version.
Right. Like,
Because I
You
have
do
that
you,
version
Rad.
already.
You do you.
I have that version already. I was like, I mean,
Yeah, I have it too.
I do too. It's just, I don't know. Weird.
Okay, so our next topic is our favorite. Oh, sorry, Lane, you're here. Lane, what's our next topic?
Who's in charge around here? All right. If we wanted a vote and assign Cali executive orders, I mean, we can put a vote up or something. But
Kali
until
executive boss
then, I'm
sauce.
the boss around here.
I mean,
I'll have you know.
you believe whatever you want to believe.
I'll have you know. All right. So before I was so rudely interrupted, as our next topic is our favorite horror games. So, in this spirit of Halloween. So, Rad, why don't you go first? What is your favorite horror game?
Um, I mean, I'm not really big into horror games myself. I don't know why I like them, but I mean, I used to play stuff like Resident Evil when I was young. Like I didn't play the remakes or anything like that, but I will not say that like I those games I love them or something like that. I think they're good games. There are three that they are all in this generation that I think they're really good, depending on the genre that you want to play. Uh, One of them is Bloodborne. Of course, that's a horror game. We don't have to talk a lot about it. Everybody knows. Everybody know Bloodborne by now. Um, um, if you're looking for an action RPG or something like that, I think that both games, The Last of Us Part Two and Part One, both are amazing. They have horror segments, I guess, in the games. And another game that I actually enjoy, but it is a different genre. It is more like an interactive movie. I would say is Until Dawn.
Hmm.
Until Dawn is it's like like watching a horror movie, and you get part of the story, and you get to decide what happens in the story. So if you're into that kind of game, that's actually a recommendation.
It's a great game.
Hmm.
Uh, Short, but pretty good.
Right? Yeah, but it is longer than a movie though. So.
That is true. That is true. I always tell everyone Heavy Rain's like the best 24-hour movie you ever watched or
Right.
something.
Heavy Rain is good as well,
Yeah.
but Until Dawn is so dark. It's horror, like
Hmm.
at its peak.
It's good.
So yeah, that would be my picks. I'm not really about big into horror games, so I'll let you guys put some recommendations for me. I have a couple of games I want to try, but I'm not gonna mention them yet in case you guys have them as your picks. So go ahead.
Callie, what's your favorite horror game?
Well, for anybody that knows me, you know I don't play horror games at all, ever. It's I tried Resident Evil 7 on PSVR, huge mistake. That was that was a bad idea. I didn't sleep for days. I was like, this is trash. I hate my life. If you've never played a VR game, especially a VR horror game, you don't know what fear is like. And I don't rec it. If you no,
I'm
I
so out.
I played
Nope.
some.
That sounds awesome.
I played a few horror games on PSVR. I tried the rail shooter one where you're like in the on the thing and there's like clowns and crazy shit flying at your face and
That's Until Dawn Circus of Blood or something.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. And I tried the one where you're on a planet and there's like giant spiders and stuff jumping at your face and you're the only survivor. I Farpoint, you get the gun
Hmm.
peripheral on PSVR.
Gotcha.
So no, I'm not. I don't like horror games. I tried them. Huge mistake. Don't no no thanks. Hard pass all around. No thank you. So I'm gonna go way back. We're gonna go way back. Back when horror wasn't even a genre, and there was a game, a little game, a franchise that you barely knew about, and it was called Resident Evil. The very first Resident Evil director's cut, that was a game unlike anything else that was out at the time. It had controls kind of like Onimusha and oh, what's the other title? Like the original Devil May Cry, they all kind of played similarly, and I thought it was just amazing what they did on the PS1 with that game. Like I really liked the first Resident Evil. I played it quite a lot. I played the original and the director's cut version. I haven't played the remakes on GameCube, etc. But if you want to go back to the grandfather of all horror games, it's a pretty fun experience.
I picked that up on the Switch. I'd never really played any Resident Evil games, but I bought the first Resident Evil for the Switch. It's not really my kind of game, but I'm glad I can say at least tried it.
Yep. I mean, Resident Evil 4 is arguably the best game in the series, but
Mm.
the first one, it it just set the bar of, hey, this is a new genre of game. Come try it out.
Yeah, it
100% agree.
popularized horror.
Cool. Nick, what's your favorite horror game?
Well, Kylie kind of mentioned it. It's a pretty popular little game, but my favorite horror game is none other than Resident Evil 4. Uh, it just felt like the complete package for me for like replayability. It actually had, I don't know, the story was there. I loved the characters. It just took it to like another level for me. It I played Resident Evil 1 and 2, and I feel like there was definitely more horror to be had there. But I just enjoy the over the shoulder interactions more with like Resident Evil 4. And I feel like Resident Evil 5 just took it to the climax that the series needed. I'll say this: I haven't really branched outside of Resident Evil as far as horror games go. So, but I love four the most. I've beaten it 8 times. I've run through the game.
Damn.
It's a lot of fun. The first time playing, I remember I died 212 times before I beat the game. But I was like, that was terrible. I feel ashamed of myself. I need to do better. So I went back and I did it. And the next time it was about 50 times. Then the next time it was about 20 times. And then it just, I love that game. I looked to bits and pieces. I played through it 5 times on the uh, PlayStation 2. And then I played through it uh, 3 times on the Xbox 360. And yeah, it's my favorite out of all of them. I mean, I love Resident Evil 5 for the co op action and everything, and it gave the series the climax that the series needed, and Resident Evil 6 never happened. But Resident Evil 7 went back to the roots. And has anyone here played Resident Evil 6 of our group?
Yep. 6 was trash.
I think trash is a kind word for it, but
It was a laughable piece of fecal matter, I
it
guess.
was Resident Evil duty, right? Resident
Resident
Evil of
Evil
duty.
Dude Bro Explosion Michael Bay
Yeah,
Bullshit Edition.
exactly.
Duty.
Resident Evil of duty. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it sucked. But anyway, 7. I feel it's up there for me for like one of the. It's my favorite Resident Evil is 4, but I feel like I'd say that's my favorite horror game. But as far as the scariest game I've ever played, I'm gonna have to go with Outlast. It scared the
Oh, yeah, I've seen that
bejeebus
game. That
out of
game
me.
looks terrifying. Nick,
Jesus,
all I gotta say, you need to go play Resident Evil 7 on VR and tell
I
me that you
do.
know what scary is because never again. Never, ever, ever, ever again.
I want to just to see what it's like just for that game.
Sounds really exciting,
I
honestly.
I was panicking playing Resident Evil 7 without it, so I can only imagine what it would be like.
I don't understand you guys. Being scared like does nothing for me. Does nothing for me. I don't understand it at all.
I used to
So, wait a
play.
minute. Did
Do
we
you mean
just
like it is an emotion that you don't like,
he just doesn't
or that you
have
enjoy?
I don't like being on
Lane
edge.
Lane
Okay.
knows
Oh,
no fear.
wait, so Lane, you don't get scared?
No, I get scared. That's why I don't like to play. I don't
Ah,
like I don't
he
like
does
being anxious.
he doesn't like it. Okay, gotcha.
Got it. Okay.
I
So
like
duly
movies. I like
noted.
scary movies. So
I hate scary movies. God, I won't watch them ever.
I
Nope.
I I watch everything. That's the thing. I try to, but yeah, it's not my favorite genre, but I like it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm with Callie. I don't like horror games, but it's a little game I beat a few days ago. That's probably one. Well, it's my new favorite game from Software, and that's Bloodborne. Um, if we're saying that counts, Bloodborne would be my pick. I freaking loved that game, and yeah, as soon as I beat it, I started New Game Plus, and it was so funny because I really struggled in that game when I first bought it, and it was kind of nice to be, after struggling so hard and then do a New Game Plus and just beating like the first 3 bosses in like one try, just because it's like, okay, now it's cake. Now I know now I know what I'm doing. So, but yeah, Bloodborne is a fantastic game though. I really want we need to have a lore discussion, Rad. I really want to know
Yes.
more about this world of Yarnum and what is going on there.
You know what? Actually, I've got a suggestion. I think that we need to get somebody else set up that can do the backside of the podcast, so I could take a day off and you guys can just do Dark Souls, Bloodborne, just make a whole episode about the shit I don't care about. Just do that.
I think Lane Wolf, who's in the chat, I think he was mentioning on the Discord that there's a lot of reading, and there is actually this piece of reading that is very famous. I forgot the name right now. I haven't read it. I watched a lot of lore videos on Bloodborne, but I haven't watched that one specifically, or not watched but read that one specifically. I think it has over 100 pages.
Wow.
That it is actually really good. So I have to check it out.
I think you said it was called Pale Blood Hunt.
Yeah, exactly that one. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodborne is a masterpiece. That would be my pick.
And it counts as a horror game for sure.
Awesome. It has a few jumpy moments. Enemies jumping out at you when you're not expecting it.
So
But
with Bloodborne, I'm gonna try it on PS5 when it gets its 60 frames per second patch. So don't worry, I'm gonna try it. Just when it gets that patch, I'll try it, but not till then.
I think it's optimistic to think there's going to be a 60 FPS patch.
really, you don't think there'll be one?
There's lots
It's
of rumors
doable on
about it.
PS4 Pro, but they never did it. Like someone actually created a 60 FPS fan patch. It's totally doable on Pro.
Yeah, you make a good point. Maybe they're trying to milk some more money out of it.
See, here's
an
the
upgrade
thing.
or something.
From what I understand, they opted out of doing an FPS patch because they said something about how the frame rate disparity between what the Pro would have been versus the base console, it would have caused problems online. It sounds like a lot of bullshit, but I believe that's what they said, and they were like, nah, we're not doing this shit.
Online, who cares?
So if you wanted a 60 FPS Bloodborne, you're probably gonna get it from a new game that's a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it is free on. It will be free on PS Plus. So, Callie, even if they don't have a 60 FPS patch, I definitely would recommend.
I think she already has it. Maybe.
I own the physical game.
Oh, you do
I
have it,
own
okay.
it. I own the physical game. I got it on
Gotcha.
Black Friday one year for like $15.
Gotcha. Yeah, fantastic game. So that's my pick. Hope, what's your favorite horror game?
So I was gonna pick, since I'm last, I guess I can't spoil the surprise for anyone else. I was gonna pick Killer 7, but I decided not to. I was also gonna go with Eternal Darkness. These are both GameCube games. Fantastic. But ultimately, I decided to go with this game. Psych!
Ooh.
This game's shit.
Yeah.
This game right here. The original Resident Evil remake
Okay.
on GameCube. So, Callie brought up how fantastic the vanilla version was, and this game is, man, there's a lot to say about it, honestly. It's, in my opinion, this is how you would actually do a proper remake of a classic. It stayed so faithful to the source material while modernizing it and adding on top of it, but whatever they're appending, it's not straying away from the source material. It's actually just enhancing it.
Square Enix, are you listening to this? This is what people want.
Oh, what did
Continue.
you say? Did you say more plot twists? Hold on to your horses.
So, Wayne, you ruined my segue because I was going to say exactly the same thing. Square didn't listen, and Lane hated the Final Fantasy VII remake. But I look, I popped this in recently in my GameCube, and it scared me, man. Honestly, it. I know it has like an HD version. One of you said you bought it. I think it was Wayne. You bought it on Switch.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I think you and Rad recommended it to me.
Yeah, we did actually during the
Yeah.
show. I remember.
Yeah. I'm glad I tried it.
But there's so many moments where you're just in a room, and even though it's this pre-rendered background, it's really just like a flat PNG with layers, right? They managed to do these periodic lightning storms, which they light up the room in such a way that it it briefly illuminates parts of a room that just freak you out when you actually capture what you're seeing during that brief illumination. It sets the atmosphere for each and every area, and it's just insane. I'm very surprised that this old ass game, what 2002, it's still scary today. It's amazing. Now, let me mention another thing: the zombies, the way that they move, the way that they groan, and the way that they kind of animate. So when I said the way they move, I meant to say the way that they, like their movement speed, right? And the way that they animate, it's all so freaking creepy, man. And when you look at the remakes of, and I'm sorry to anyone who actually enjoyed the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, those were not scary games, man. The zombies were laughable in those games. They made these stupid sound effects, and they did like these swiggity swiggity dodging and shit.
Yeah.
The zombies here are just perfection. They're amazing. Everything about this game is amazing. It's a masterpiece.
I love the old games with the what is it, the fixed camera or whatever,
Yeah.
and you can't see around the corner, like you were running from something, but now you can't see it. And then you
See,
got the tank controls, and you've got to slowly turn around, get your gun ready. You can't see it, but you hear it coming.
see, Nick, that's the thing. You bring up an excellent point because Resident Evil 3 on PS1, that's exactly it. You've got Nemesis on your ass, like for 70% of the game. But with the fixed camera angles, you can't anticipate where he's going to come from. All you hear is like a door, like metal opening, and you're just like, fuck, what do I do? It gets your heart racing, man. But
Right.
in this remake, dude, he just appears right there from the sky, like he's Superman or some
Like
shit.
Jesus.
Hey, look, just take out a grenade, throw it at him, and then he goes down on his knees. And you're like, okay, have a good day, Nemesis. It's nice meeting you. There was something else I wanted to say. I'll wait. It'll come back to me.
There's a game that is being recommended to me and I haven't played yet. A horror game. This one over here.
Oh
Dead
gosh, I
Space.
love
Dead
that one.
Space.
Amazing.
That is, yes. I forgot about that, but
Yes.
Jesus.
So I'll definitely play it at some point because it's been recommended by many people that like the genre. So I'll try it.
Two. The second is
Oh.
where it's at.
Nick,
Yes.
I wanted to say, since you played Resident Evil 5, did you play the DLC Lost in Nightmares?
No, I did not.
Okay, just a very heads up. Lost in Nightmares, for everyone, if you're curious, it was better than the main game. I kid you not. A 2.5 hour DLC was better than the entirety of Resident Evil 5. Now, the cool thing is, Lost in Nightmares actually has a secret mode where you can activate fixed cameras. So you get that pre RE4 experience by doing that.
That's hard for me to believe because I completed that game like 100% Resident Evil 5. I absolutely love that game.
Play Lost in Nightmares. You might just prefer it over Resident Evil 5.
I gotta download it. I'll probably. I should have played that today.
Don't play the other DLC. It's pretty bad. Lost in Nightmares, though, is amazing.
I need to give it a shot. I love that game.
Cool. Good games there. So our next topic is we're gonna talk about bad horror cliches. We can leave this open ended. I think I think for me, jump scares. I don't like jump scares, man.
Yep, that's it. That's it. That's the
That's it.
topic. That's it. Slash
Wrap
it.
it up.
Slash S. End thread. We're done.
Like I think you can. I think for me, if I'm watching like a horror movie or something, I don't like to be on edge necessarily. I like to be questioning and wondering like what the heck is going on. Being like not knowing the whole story and then like being revealed at the end. Things like the Sixth Sense.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, like that for me, I really love that I think that's a great example of a horror movie. And why I like some horror is because it's not jumpy or anything. It's more interesting. Like you're just wondering like what the heck is going on. That's the kind of horror that I like. And I love that movie. Yeah, for me it's jump scares. I don't think you need jump scares to make a good horror movie or horror game, whatever. So
kind of like Cloverfield. Lucy in the Dark for the.
Like I liked the Cloverfield series. Like which one was it that like they were in the room with John
bunker.
Goodman?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
That was so good.
Yep. And then there's the Cloverfield Paradox or whatever, but that's weird.
That was the one they were in space. I liked that one too. I liked all of them. So
yeah.
it's I like thriller movies, so I like Nightcrawler is one of my top 5 films of all time.
Oh yes.
If you haven't seen Nightcrawler,
I
you have
love
to go
that
watch
movie.
it like tomorrow. That movie is a freaking masterpiece.
Nightcrawler was great. I agree.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, jump scares. I hate them. I love thrillers. I love things that I love dark stuff. Like I just started watching Hannibal. Oh, that's That's a
Is that
series.
good?
I like things that are really messed up. I guess I like sociopaths and psychopathic people. I like people with problems and stories that are really messed up. So
Oh, what's another one? Oh, I hear a noise. I'm gonna go see what it was.
I'm gonna go like the Evil Dead. I love the Evil Dead series. Ash versus Evil Dead is probably the best, one of the best comedies. The show. Have you guys seen that show? It's so good. It's so good.
I wanted to.
I think he's gone. I'm gonna go check.
The GPS is telling me to go
Yeah,
this way, but the other way is actually a shortcut.
yeah,
I'm gonna go
that's
that way
right.
instead.
Yeah,
Let's go down the shortcut with all the creepy rumblings coming from inside.
yeah.
It's a
That's
great
the
idea.
worst.
So,
That's the worst.
so is there anything else
Uh,
you guys don't like about horror, or is jump scares pretty much it?
uh, I hate the helpless females in it. I hate it. I, or they just scream and run, and like they don't
Yeah,
formulate any kind of
it's
plan.
it's so
It's just,
bad. It's so bad.
yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they can't like overpower the killer or something, but they can use their brain a little bit, you know.
I
So
think
do
this
you
is
guys prefer more like supernatural horror, or do you prefer more um realistic, like serial killers and um
Supernatural's good. They're
I
both
yeah,
think
those are both good.
Preacher,
supernatural for video games, I guess, not so much for movies.
sure.
I,
supernatural and creature for me, I think.
this is
Yeah.
probably only me, but I one thing I was gonna mention is that, and this is my opinion, I think like asylum settings and the
Mm.
use of mental illness like for horror games is getting
Yeah,
too overused right now.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I feel like yeah, it was probably cool back then, but like 20 years later they still use it like too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I played The Evil Within, right, and then right after that, I played Outlast while I was watching like the second season of American Horror Story, which is called Asylum.
Asylum, yeah. Yep.
So I was having like night terrors rather, that I was like in a horrific mental asylum, and terrible things were happening, and I actually had to give horror games a break for a while because I was like literally having night terrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, man. It's so overused these days. It's insane. Like
It
if you
seems
pick
like yeah. Go ahead, Red. Sorry.
no, if you pick like four random movies, like it is likely that like like at least half of them are gonna be talking about like asylum settings or mental health and in some
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, psycho
Hmm.
killers, and usually
Right.
some mental disorder. Like what's that one of? It's not Glass. You know, what's the one with uh God, it's the first one's got Bruce Willis in it, and he's got like a superpower.
Unbreakable, Unbreakable.
Yeah,
That
what's
was
the
good.
second one?
Second one, well, what the glass was terrible. That was a
I
oh
loved it.
Split,
You
Split.
Split.
That was
Split
great.
was phenomenal, but yeah, another example. I liked all those movies.
Seems like it's calmed down a little bit, but zombies were so huge for a while, a few
That's
years
true.
ago.
There was a
Like
boom, yeah.
there's such a huge zombie boom. Like as soon as The Walking Dead came out, it seemed like there was just so many freaking zombie movies
Yeah.
and
Well,
zombie video
you
games,
see,
and it's
you
just
see
like
now that we're actually in a pandemic, people are like, "Wow, this apocalypse shit sure is boring."
Right.
uh,
seriously,
it- if y'all ever get bored, Zombievers is a solid pick.
zombievers.
So speaking of
Yes.
Unbreakable, yeah, I remember the last quarter of that movie just turning into a horror movie. It was just freaking me out.
Hmm.
I think if I'm thinking of the right movie.
Do you guys have any other ones?
It's kind of hard for me to
You
come
guys
up with.
remember Silent Hills playable teaser?
Right, the one that didn't actually happen.
PT.
Right, PT. That I didn't get to play it. I know people that really liked it, and yeah, that's when Kojima and Konami had differences, so it never happened.
Yeah, I really liked it. I was a fan. Disappointed, especially after they released a trailer for it, showing what more of it would have been. But I wanted to mention it's kind of disappointing how even that game had a jump scare. It's
So
a
I
little.
need to go AFK for a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I really want to know if that's backwards compatible on PS5.
But I think what do you mean, like PT?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you even download that right now?
If you change your proxy settings, you can download it from a private server. Yes.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, but with the list of games that are coming recently that are not compatible with PS5, like I mean, that Ubisoft mentioned a couple from the Assassin's Creed series, and
Yeah.
maybe
So
there's more.
99% my ass, right?
Yeah, that 99% no more. So yeah, I was hoping that only We Sing and stuff like that was not playable. But
Yeah. But also, like, says Sony's set to buy Crunchyroll for almost $1 billion.
mhm.
Whoa.
Yep. So if they got control of the anime market too, they could be like, hey, we have anime while the Xbox has Netflix, maybe Hulu. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
build in their
Sound like a great
portfolio.
thing.
If they threw that in with the PlayStation Plus, though,
Crunchyroll with PS Plus.
yeah,
Not a bad gig, I guess.
I mean, Xbox has quite the streaming service set up now, but PlayStation, I feel like it could build up theirs pretty quick if they really wanted to.
we we had another topic, right? I think so.
Yes. Yeah, we can go ahead and move on. I think we beat this one to death.
Mhm.
So, our next topic is going to be gameplay loops and RPGs that we don't like. We can just leave this one open ended. I think I know what's on everybody's list, and that is fetch quests.
Fetch
Oh,
quest.
God.
Yep. I didn't even know what the topic was, but I heard fetch quest and I agreed.
Yep, you know what
Yep.
the topic
Yeah.
is now.
Sorry, my cat like grabbed onto my arm with his teeth, and I had to put some ointment on it. Like he like
Oh,
attacked
geez.
me. Yeah, it's great.
Little shit.
Patting him and then just I'm like, oh shit, cat.
Some cats are so freaking bipolar. Like they're all loving you, and then you pet them in the wrong spot, and they just freaking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
little shit.
Yeah, my buddy had a cat, and he was playing with him kind of, and everything was fine. And then the cat pulled out his claws, and then he had to get like 6 stitches to sew his ear back on.
Jeez.
Shit.
God.
Yeah, he's like, I really don't know what happened.
Freaking cats. So
But-
what else do you guys think? What are some other gameplay
I
loops
don't
in
like
RPGs?
Usos, to be honest.
You don't like what?
Usos or Dynasty Warriors like stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
love those. They are
I
mindless
just-
enjoyment.
it's boring to me to slash thousands of enemies just to and a mid boss just to unlock an area to do it again.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in Dynasty Warriors, but I gave Fire Emblem Warriors a chance because it's Fire Emblem, right? And I gave Hyrule Warriors a chance as well, but I didn't like them. I don't know if I'm gonna like Age of Calamity either
Yeah,
because it's the same thing, right?
yeah, that's fair.
I like Samurai Warriors 4 the most out of all the ones I've played because it's got like all the lore of Japan and everything, and you learn the general plot of like how the war and everything went, but you can also look up into the character profiles and stuff, and you get some of the stuff you don't really hear about in the game, like there's a character called Gomon who pretty much was like a Robin Hood character, and he stole from like the dynasties or whatever at the time and gave to the villagers. Well, they didn't like that very much, so they caught him one day and they proceeded to boil him alive.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah, stuff you learn.
Uh, so one of the cliches that I really hate is escort quests. It's
Hmm.
like I
Yeah,
I hate game like anytime I have a mission in any kind of game and it's like you need to go escort this person over here. I'm like, I don't know, why can't I just go murder all the stuff and then take them? Why do they have to come with me while I murder the stuff?
like I'm okay with it unless it's just like unforgiving. Like 2 hits, they're dead, and you've got like 100 enemies or something to deal with, and it's like, oh, you didn't watch this one, and she died while your back was turned.
Yep, you
I
got
hate
it.
those, but if it's feasible, it doesn't bother me.
Actually, I got one. All I gotta do is say one word, and Lane is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, are you ready? You ready for this?" Orvid. Orvid.
What?
There's a guy named Orvid in Trails. All of Orvid's quests. Oh, please tell. As big of a Kaseki fan as you are, you don't know who Orvid is? How? What
No.
is this?
You left her hanging.
Wow, Lane. So
Who the hell is that?
Orvid is a character. He's like a shopkeep, kind of like he loves food and he travels around. He's like, go get me like these 15 different ingredients from random stuff and then bring them
Oh,
back. Like I just met him again in CS4. I'm like, oh God, Orvid's in this
yeah.
game. Oh God, it's so
So
bad.
one criticism I have about Trails is the fact that they world build like freaking shopkeepers and the innkeeper's son. It's like who
Oh
gives a
yeah.
shit?
It's like, oh yeah,
Who
you
gives a
you are
shit about the shopkeeper?
you're
I
my
don't care.
cousin's uncle's roommate's friend
Dude,
twice
I'm here to buy
removed.
stuff and I'm going to forget your name as soon as I walk out the door.
If a shopkeeper proceeded to tell me his life's history while I was like at a store, if a cashier tried to tell me something,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
They do
"Oh
that
my
in
god!"
it's really bad in Cold Steel 1 and 3 when you're doing all the field trips and stuff. It's like you go to a new town and you learn all about the shopkeeper's kid, and you're just like, I don't care, game. I don't care.
Yeah, see,
So
Kiss,
I'm
you
sure,
know.
or I'm sure
Kiss
what's
knows who Orvid
I already
is.
forgot his name. He probably falls in that category.
Yeah, Orvid. Like as soon as I saw Orvid, I was like, oh please God, oh no, oh no. Oh God. It's the worst part of Fetch Quest because he's like, I need these extremely rare things from all over the place. Go find them. And otherwise you don't get your bracer points.
Yeah. There's a gameplay loop that I dislike actually. Um so being stuck in a very difficult boss and having to lose to the boss and then have to farm for healing items and then try the boss and lose again and then having to farm healing items
It's
again.
like the Souls
Bloodborne.
game.
Yeah.
As much as I love Bloodborne, that's the only
Yeah.
thing that I don't like about the game.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, Rad, and it's especially painful early in the game because it's very difficult to get vials.
Yeah,
Where
especially
later in the game, when you're more powerful and can get souls quickly, it's very easy to just
And,
stock up on vials.
and
But
once you, I
early
mean,
game, it
and
sucks.
once you get better at the game as well, like yeah, that's.
Yes.
But I can see how it can be frustrating sometimes
Yeah.
for beginners. You know, if they don't beat, I don't know, the first boss, the Clary
Yeah.
Beast, in a
It
couple of
was a
tries,
huge
like
turnoff for me when I first started playing Bloodborne.
then
Was
you
the
need to
fact,
start killing random stuff in order to get bios and then try and
yeah,
fight the boss again. On
yep,
like totally different as Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2 or 3, like
right,
that you actually have Estus flask and it
yeah,
refills on the bonfire, so you
Yep.
yeah,
just go back and fight the boss again.
That's what made Demon Souls so painful, Brad.
Yes.
Just the
Yeah.
fact that the grass ran out.
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
thank Nick, by the way. He helped me farm some of that sweet MJ for those bosses, man.
But it, so be ready for the pain, because on the remake they're actually limiting
Right?
the healing stuff that you can carry. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I'm
Say,
expecting
yeah.
I'm expecting some tough fights toward the end. I'm
Like
not saying anything.
you
Awesome.
could have the what was it? Like waning grass or whatever, but you could get like some of that half moon grass and stock that up too.
Hmm.
And then you get like three different types of that grass, some of
Hmm.
that
Right.
different kinds of kush, and you're you're set.
Yeah. So yeah, at the beginning of the game, it is hard to find healing items. By the end of the game, so I'm talking about the original, and Hope just beat the game. So by the end of the game, you have like so many healing items that
I had
even
like 60 full moons, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
even if the boss is difficult, you're just gonna keep healing forever. Basically, that's
right.
broken. Now it is gonna be more challenging.
I'm so excited for that game.
It
So,
definitely needed to be rebalanced. So,
so I gotta say, that's a good thing. And so next week, guys, our topic, we have one topic, and that is a top 10 PlayStation 4 games because the last week of the generation. That is gonna be really, it's gonna be tough.
I'm
That's
already
yeah,
thinking
it's
about it, and yeah, I was telling Lane the other day that it is so difficult to make that top 10.
Yeah, I've been working on my list,
I don't
checking it
feel
twice.
qualified. Not yet. I still got to go through my backlog.
like I gotta
But
say,
yeah, that's also the thing. It's
it's
like I swear when I start playing PS5, it's like I'm still gonna be playing so many PS4 games.
Right.
so. What other
Hmm.
cliches you guys have, or is that it for those topics?
I
I
Inventory management.
right, yeah, that's a good one.
I
That's a
don't
good one.
mind.
yeah.
Uh, like I enjoy min maxing as long as the equipment system isn't like overly complex
Yeah.
or just uh, complicated for no reason, like Tales of Berseria and Tales
Mhm.
of Hysteria.
Like Disgaea.
Yeah. But like I don't like it when Xenoblade Chronicles is a good example. More so the first game, the Wii version. Like you get all of this shit in your inventory, and you're like, "What the hell do I do with this? Can I sell it? Do I need it for a quest later?" And it's just like you sit there for freaking 20 minutes, and you're like, and you can't like directly compare equipment with your characters, and
That's I actually kind of use a guide for Xenoblade in order to sell in order to know what to sell, because I didn't want to deal with that
yeah. I
mess,
like games where you go to the next town and there's one option for your character. It's the next best sword. You buy the
Exactly.
next sword and you move on.
Yeah.
Uh,
What about weight management? I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's a video game. I don't care if I weigh 1,000
Yeah,
pounds. Just
freaking
leave
Right.
me. Let me be. I don't
yeah,
want to be
freaking
managed.
Skyrim. You're like you're going along and then you pick up a flower. And you're like,
Yeah. The Witcher as well.
I hate
Oh,
that, man. That
oh, that
was like
shit
I
sucks.
beat New Vegas, but I did put that one mod on there because God, that was just it.
Yeah,
Fallout, you have like some places you just can't
it's
go to very
especially
quick.
frustrating on games where you can pick up like Bethesda games, like where you can pick up literally everything
A
off the
yeah.
nickel.
ground. So
You can
like
pick up a
your
nickel
first
and then instantly slow
yeah.
to a snail.
Yeah, yeah, like you're a brand new player to Skyrim. Like it's like, ooh, I can pick up this spoon or this plate. I might need that for later.
It's like, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of
Yeah,
candy.
And when you
Ooh,
and you
piece of
when you
candy.
pick a lot of stuff at the same time, and then you start walking slowly, and you don't know what is the thing that is making you walk like that, and
Right.
then you figure out there is a
yeah,
barrel that weighs 50 pounds, and you got it
yeah,
by accident or something.
yeah. Let me just
That's
take
how
this freaking 100-pound barrel with me.
yeah.
So actually, I
Why?
gotta say, I mean, I played Odin Sphere, Left Sphere on Monday, and I liked the art. I liked the combat was okay, but the inventory management and that alchemy system, it's like, why did they? What is this junk? I've been so spoiled playing games that have infinite inventory space and have systems that aren't like clunky to use that I was like, oh, this feels like a PS2 game. That's exactly what I was like. That this was a
Yep.
PS2 game. I do
Oh, it
remember
is a
this.
PS2 game.
So yeah, that's immediately I was like, wow, I don't want to play this, no matter how good the story is.
It's a good game. The original is hard as nails, but it beat my butt so many times. Just I never beat Gwendolyn's. I was like, this is too hard for me.
You should try the remake. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited
have
to
it.
try it.
I have it. I
uh,
just in the backlog.
I enjoy the game a lot, so I get what Kali is saying. It is true. I mean, the inventory is not the best ever.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good, but I was able to overlook that.
You know what the worst thing about Tales of Berseria was? They would have equipment with the same exact name
Different
with different
stats.
stats. And you had to
Yes.
go in there and look at all the
Yes.
little details. But it got to a point where I just didn't give a shit anymore because it didn't matter anyway because the game was so stupid easy anyway.
Well,
But
Hysteria makes you focus more on the equipment, and it's oh god, same
yeah.
thing. You have to look at each individual piece of equipment individually. There's like 6 pieces per character. You have to have the right skills on each one, and if not, then your character is not going to gain stats when they level hardly, and it's
Yeah.
but
Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, I love Tales of Berseria, but
I love
only
Berseria as well.
story wise. Only
so
story wise.
LT is actually
And
playing through
characters.
Zisteria right now on stream. Well, not right now, but like that's one of the games he's streaming.
Tales of Zestiria?
Yeah, he's streaming Zisteria. LT
it
is.
starts off good.
I need to play Hysteria still at some point.
I
I have one
It's
more um gameplay loop that I don't like. Um Having to farm freaking weapons because they break. I hate that.
Breath of
I
the
mean,
Wild.
Breath of the Trash.
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
as much as I love Breath of the Wild as well, yeah,
yeah.
that's the only downside, I think.
I I can think of one. Um, Getting to new hub areas and then having to grind to be ready for like the next area, or suddenly they hit you with like 30 side quests all at once, rather than just given to you gradually. It, like Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
like one of my least favorite
Yeah,
portions of
chapter
the game.
14. All I gotta say is chapter 14 of that game. It's like, here's all the side quests. Stay in
That
this
we
chapter for
haven't
like
been given
10
yet.
hours.
It's like
do them now or never do them. So that's the kind that's what that was my only problem with that game as well. I mean, that I could not go back and do side quests from the previous chapters.
Then you wouldn't like Trails, because everything has a short time limit.
But in Trails, um, it's totally optional.
Yeah.
It's different, and some of them feel like like silly quests. Like in Final Fantasy, like you wanted to do all the quests, but I wanted to take my time doing them. Um, like of course in Trails I'm gonna do all of them if I want to aim for the highest rank. But you don't have to carry stuff for other people, or or find those ingredients as you said earlier. if you don't want to. You can just concentrate on the story.
Yeah, see, that's the
Right.
thing that bothers me. So, Cold Steel 4, you can miss 26 extra points and still get the highest rank item. I've already missed 6, and I'm only like 10% of the game, so I have to follow an AP guide now so I don't screw it up. Like,
Mm.
Or
no,
New Game Plus.
no, I will not play New Game Plus, the game that's 115 hours long. I'm already 12 hours in, and I'm not even done with the first chapter. It's just gonna be so long.
There's 3 acts. They're very large.
Yeah, well, there's 3 beginning acts. I already looked up a AP guide. I know how long the game's gonna be. It's long.
I will tell you in 2026 when I play it.
Yeah, like there's quests they don't even tell you they exist. So there's like a cave somewhere you're supposed to kill a boss. I went to everywhere in the maps. I never saw a cave. It must have been on some side map that I never saw. But now I'm gonna have to go seek that out because there's one of those in each little section, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lose all these points. It's bad design.
Mm.
We can make it rad before Pudgy Mary keeps
20. We'll make it in 2021. That's I'm saying that right now.
December 2021, right?
There's so many good games coming out in 2021.
We'll make it.
That's right.
Believe.
Gosh, I've
Don't
got-
lose hope.
I've got to get started on that series.
It's good.
Okay.
Wait.
So, what do we have now? Anything else? Questions
That's
from the
it.
chat?
What we've been playing this week? Hope Man, what have you been playing this week?
I have been playing. I can't believe I still haven't beaten this game yet.
What is it? I'm having a hard
It's,
time seeing it.
The Great Ace Attorney.
Okay.
It's Japanese, but it's fan translated.
Ah,
I am on the last case, but man, what is it, like 4 months now? Jeez. I should really beat that game already. I am going to start this as well. It'll probably take me an hour to beat, I guess.
I can't tell what that is.
Oh, sorry, this is Mega Man X.
Okay.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and I am also playing this
Ooh.
Nice.
There you go.
very, very slowly.
That's a very expensive game now too.
And
Yes.
this gem right here, Galgun Double Piece. Another masterpiece by, well, I previously mentioned them before with Azure Striker Gunvolt, Inti Creates.
What's the tax on that?
Tax is 70% increase. It's a certified success, unlike a certain fourth entry in the Trails of Cold Steel series.
You know, I can't believe that we've been live for 2.5 hours, and that is the first mention of waifus this entire thing. I'm impressed.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
It's called being unpredictable.
Yeah. Cool. Now, you were playing 13 Sentinels too. Did you finish that?
I did last week, and
Nice.
it's my game of the year.
Wow.
Honestly, I wouldn't go as far to say it's the game of the gen for me. It's debatable for sure, but it is a fantastic
Game of the Millennium?
That's I got to think about that.
Yeah, I know. It's so good though. I know I said that Hope and I were going to do a review on it when we beat it. I don't know how we can without spoiling the hell out of it. Like, there's 8 million different story twists that happen in that game constantly. Like the last 5 hours of the game, it's like they're just punching you in the face constantly. Like, hey, here's story twist. Hey, here's story twist. The last 5 minutes of the game. Hey, here's story twist. Hey.
Dang.
It's a train that just never stops, quite frankly. And look, I know, I get it. It's an 86 Metacritic. I understand that the lazy millennial devs over at Coolest Vanillaware they fumbled the football and just didn't hit that home run.
But there was a
But
reason.
something about it. There's some kind of unknown tax. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That makes it a certified success. It's nothing short of a success. It's not a blunder. Yeah, highly recommended. Honestly, Vanillaware they knocked it out of the park. Actually,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Have to play
that's
it is one
that's
of
two.
it is the best story I have ever seen in anything in my entire life. Like the week after I beat it, I felt lost. I think Hope, you said you felt the same way this week after you beat it.
yeah, I haven't been able to play anything. Actually, I've just been thinking. That's all.
So like you're gonna play Xenogears story, and then you're gonna be like, what is this trash?
And Xenogears is a very thought-provoking game already.
Yeah, you know the thing about 13 Sentinels is, like I mentioned before, it's dialogue heavy. There's a shit ton of story, but it's very interesting. But it also has a very good battle system. It's kind of like a twist on the strategy genre, I guess you could say. Very fun, action-packed RTS type game. Just good shit, man. It's a
Yep,
great
it's basically just say, oh, you're a Gen 2 pilot. What's your job? You drop sentries every turn. Okay, great.
I don't know about you, Callie. I know you're on PS4 Pro, but when you're summoning all the interceptors and the sentries, for me, my frame rate went down to like 10 FPS. That's how
Well,
bad it was.
I mean, it went down some, but I have a PS4 Pro with an SSD in it, so it wasn't as bad. Like when I had maximum interceptors on levels that had tons of enemies, there was some slowdown, and I would comment on it on the stream, but for the most part, it was fine. But on base PS4, oh boy,
It's so
I
bad.
bet it chugs. I bet it chugs.
Yeah.
Hmm. Cool. Good stuff.
We got two people saying possibly game of the year, so
Yeah, you guys are talking up this game
Oh,
pretty
guys,
heavily.
it is game of the year, and that's coming from somebody that you guys know how much I love Ori, and ooh.
Hmm. Cool. Nick, what have you been playing this week?
oh, just the old Devil Survivor here and there, and Ghost of Tsushima. I
Nice.
what did I just finish? I don't even remember. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, maybe.
Wasn't
Oh
it
yeah.
Nino Kuni?
No, the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I finished that, and so I started up Ghost of Tsushima so I can play tomorrow with everybody. Been getting the hang of it. Loving the combat in this game, and just playing the old Devil Survivor. That's about it.
For the
How, how,
15th time.
how are you
Fourth,
liking Ghost so far? Like the story?
I'm loving it. I mean I saw quite a bit from watching you and Kali here and there, but I love it. I love its world building and your interactions with the characters, and it doesn't shy away from like some of the more brutal sides of war, and it just really it the quests are interesting. They don't always play out like you think they will, and it offers like a more it's hard to say a it offers a different perspective on the war and the interactions to the people and stuff, and I like it so far. It, it's a good game, tight combat from what I can say, but I'm still in the beginning hours. I have yet to hit about half percentage of the first region, so
Yeah, it's gonna be a grind.
that game is massive.
I mean, technically, you can aim for the main story and finish it maybe in 20 hours, but you should not do that.
No, God, no. I'm
Yeah.
also playing on hard mode, so
Right. Yeah. Cool, man.
Cool.
That's cool.
Good stuff.
Just
Callie,
for the record, it's a sub 90. Just letting you know.
Sub 90.
for the record.
89.
no.
89. So this week on Color Splash Monday, Twitter voted for Odin Sphere Lefthrasir, and it's colorful. The combat's is serviceable. Once I remembered that it's a PS2 game, I was like, oh yeah, that's why there's these systems. Um, I, I, it's okay. Like I think starting with 13 Sentinels like screwed me over for Vanillaware forever. Because nothing's ever gonna come close to that. But it's okay. If you are okay with inventory management that's kind of wonky and kind of clunky alchemy systems that don't really make sense, and my memory's hot trash, so having to remember all the recipes, I didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, but we played that on Monday, and then we've been playing Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 4. Uh, I am about 12 hours into it. I gotta say that I I like a couple of the changes. I absolutely hate some of the other changes a lot. A lot. Um, how can I do this without spoiling it? So in combat, there's a mechanic that was very good in Cold Steel 3 that they nerfed extremely on Cold Steel 4. And along with that, they also nerfed the ability to make an evasion tank easily because everything that used to give evasion, they cut like the amount of evasion it gave in half.
Mm,
So you can't make evasion tanks easily at all. I don't know if it's even possible anymore. I think I have one that's like 41%, and that's really high. It used to be you could get like 80, 90% evasion, just counterattack everything like a fiend.
jeez.
Um, so they've made the combat more difficult and more challenging. I like some of the changes that they made with the mechs. I don't know if like I was so hyped about the new EX gem. I was like just cheering in the stream how excited I was. Um, I I really like the nod back they're doing to other games, but I I just I want my Ashen Awakener. Like I just want to get through this tutorial first, I don't know, 30, 40 hours of the game so I can get back my character. That's all I want to do. And once I get past that, I'm sure I'll love it. But right now, I'm very skeptical. Um, and you guys know me. If I want to get the maximum bracer points, I want to like complete all the side quests. And the fact that there's some side quests that they don't give them to you. You have to go look. You have to go find them on your own. Like they're not even labeled as quests. Those cave ones. That's a huge problem. That's
Mm,
what first chapter did. There was quests that weren't even labeled as quests. I can't believe that they also took back the orbment slot leveling. So I could see why it's 80 on Metacritic. It is worse than Cold Steel 2 from a systems perspective, and Falcom did not hit it out of the park so far. We'll see if I change my mind. We'll see if I change my mind after 115 hours, because that's my predicted how long it's going to take. Aside that, I played
jeez.
Hades today, and Hades, oh my dear God, that game is the best roguelike game I have ever played. Um, it's so fast and fluid and just crazy. It's just batshit crazy fast. My favorite weapon so far is the shield. Um, I know,
Mm,
Rad, you said you like the sword, but once you get that lightning ability on the shield and you could just double dash with stuff that's falling under you on the ground and everything's hitting
Th-
with lightning, it's just insanely good.
That's my second favorite. Yeah, I like it as
Oh, the
well.
shield. So I haven't died again to go back and get one of the like heart weapons that unlock after that. Like I only died like 3 times, so I haven't unlocked that yet. So that's what I've been playing. We'll be streaming all of Cold Steel 4 on Twitch. So uh, thanks to you all. Actually, I gotta say, guys, last night's stream made me definitely question the channel point thing because you guys made it to where I couldn't buy things, I couldn't sell things, I couldn't trade, I
That
couldn't
was
fish,
hilarious.
I couldn't run. I didn't even. I was like, you know what? I just had to walk everywhere. I was like, this is bullshit. And then Lane made it where I couldn't use craft, so I picked Altina, and I was like sitting at 200. I'm like, this is so bad. And then I went and looked back and it said there's a 5-minute timer. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm charging 2,000 points for this. I'll do it the rest of that stream. But it's unless it gets egregious, because I was like, this is dumb. This is it was fun. Like I had a lot of laughs, but during it I was like, this is crazy. You guys spent like 15,000 channel points on that stuff. So yeah, that's what I did. Thanks for listening.
Cool. I can go. So I beat Bloodborne on Sunday.
Let's go.
I think it was Sunday.
You
I went
destroyed
hard.
Bloodborne, man.
I went hard on Bloodborne,
I watched that, and yeah, man, you got so good.
especially towards the end. Like I did 2 4-hour streams towards the end. I could not put the controller down. It was it's so good, and I had to beat it. You know, it's just like try after try after try. I just couldn't give up. So, and thank you to Rad for helping me out a lot with finding some items.
Help that you didn't need. So
No, I definitely needed it, or it definitely sped up the process anyway. So I appreciate it. And especially like in just having general direction is helpful too, instead of just wandering around aimlessly. But anyway, yeah, Bloodborne, definitely. I won't spoil my PlayStation 4 list for next week, but it's up there. It's very up there. I'll just say that. It's a fantastic game.
Guys, I forgot a game we all played together. Among Us. We played that last Sunday.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That was so much fun.
yeah.
We all had a good time.
We definitely need to
Yeah.
do that again soon.
Yeah,
That was a
so
blast.
tomorrow will be Ghost of Tsushima, but I think at least twice a month we should all get together and play Among Us. That was a good time.
Yeah, I'm so down.
I was so bad at the beginning. Like the first few game, I sucked. I sucked so much as an imposter, as everything, until I discovered that I had a gut. That's when things started better.
Fuck the gut.
Oh man, Hope was so. I mean, Hope was so outraged at some point. I was laughing so hard because I knew it was him, but I wasn't. I didn't have like the explanation of why. I just knew it. That I voted for him. Sorry, Hope.
Yeah, Lane is sus though. Lane is like super sus. He was imposter like half the games.
Lane
I
pulled
did,
that
yeah.
bold.
Just vote Lane and you'll be
Purpose
fine.
sus.
That was so
Purpose
bold,
sus.
like hitting the
But
emergency button.
I thought it was going to work because I only had to kill one more
Almost.
person. And if I would have done it, you guys would have been like, why the hell would Lane have done it if he was the imposter? Because he only has to kill one more guy.
Because
And
he's
you guys didn't
sus.
fall for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I almost fall for it, but I mean, the thing is that the only reason why I voted for you and not for Lane is that in the first session of that game, I stayed with Nick for a while and he didn't kill me, so it was like
Mm.
Right.
That was a good game. I was really close on that one.
we have to try that again at some point.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Oh, that
Sure.
game is so much fun to play with other people. I'm trying to get my team at work to maybe play it with me, or kind of do like a team building activity with it.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to play that with coworkers. That's like playing what game is that? Cards Against Humanity with your coworkers. It's a bad idea.
I think it would be fun, but yeah. So I guess back to what I was playing. Yeah, we played Among Us. Beat Bloodborne, loved it, and then yeah, Cold Steel 4 got that on Monday. So I beat Bloodborne just in time for Cold Steel 4. Yeah, thoughts so far. Loved the prologue. There's pretty good throwback to a lot of the old games. That's all I'll say. And I loved every minute of it. The first chapter after that has been kind of pacing wise, but I'm kind of used to it with these games. I've always said, like, on an individual basis, I think the games are not fantastic, but it's really the whole series as a whole that I think is amazing with the amount that they build and
So
build and build.
there's one good thing they did though, Lane. It's something that I'm very thankful about. The trial chests. The
Yes,
fact that you could teleport back to them if you suck too much and can't beat it right away.
yes.
Like I think there's one coming up that's like level 96 required, and I'm like, well,
Oh
that's not
god.
gonna
Oof.
happen. But you could teleport back there
Yeah,
when you, so that's a really good feature.
I agree, and they're really useful. I can't remember in Cold Steel 3. I thought you only got items, but in this one you actually get boosts to your orders.
Yeah, those were in Cold Steel 2 when you had to do the individual party members. That wasn't in 3. So that was a Cold
Okay,
Steel
yeah,
2 mechanic. But yeah, you get again, it's a tax. That's all it is. It's like the stupid orbment slots. It's just a seventh tax on the stupid game. There's no wonder it didn't get above 82. I don't know what it's
yeah,
at now, but it doesn't deserve higher with the mistakes they made.
It
yeah.
is actually at an 83. It went up 2 points.
Oh wow.
Wow,
Still has a
that's
long way to go for the lazy millennial devs over at Clueless Falcon.
yeah.
What's the how long to beat on it now? I think last I looked there was only like 4 submissions on how long to beat for the game.
I don't know. Look it up. Tell us. What's it
So
say?
they're saying 45 for only main story. Main and
S-
extras is 97 and a half. It's a pretty big jump.
uh,
Completionist is 131. All styles 100.
I'm expecting 115, but I'm not going for platinum. So
What
I'm
was
expect
Cold Steel 3?
Cold Steel 3 was less. I don't know, but it was less. Cold Steel 4 is going to be the longest, and it's going to be a long one.
I think Cold Steel 3 actually had a longer main story score. Why can't I find the Cold Steel 3?
Well,
Oh
see, for
yeah,
main
because it's only
story, if you just
numerals.
skip all the story and kill the things, it won't take that long, but there's a
Yeah, Cold
lot
Steel
of
3
text.
is main story is 61 and a half, main and extras is 101. So the main and extra was it longer? No, about the same.
I just, I, I
Are
really,
you guys using turbo mode?
I use it during
Uh
combat only, and only on certain fights. I don't use it on bosses usually.
yeah, I haven't used it as heavy as I did in Cold Steel 3 just because I'm kind of eating up the fact that I just got a brand new 4K TV and I I like the way it looks. So I kind of just like eat it up a little bit more, but I use it sometimes more so on like general random encounters, not on
So,
bosses or anything.
yeah, there's some tough bosses too. Like I wasn't expecting like the first. How do I explain this without spoiling? The first major boss event at the end of the part right where we're at, Lane. I wasn't expecting that to be as long as it was. It was like an hour-long fight for that entire mess. I wasn't
Really?
prepared for that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm playing it on normal, and that fight was actually pretty easy, almost a little too easy. But I might have been a little over leveled for it. But
Did you get
um,
the AP bonus for doing it in 35 turns?
yes,
I got it on the 35th turn, and I was so
no, I got it
nervous.
on like 33. I was like, oh, yep, yeah. I kind of like those little bonuses they throw in. I don't
I
go for all
know.
of them, but
That
I
one's
I like that
good.
they're there.
I like that they
Yeah,
did that. The trial chests are fun. I think that's a good addition
yeah.
back. I really like that.
Yeah. One thing I think I noticed I don't know if you noticed it too, Callie, but the mech battles in Cold Steel 3 they almost felt. Now I don't know. I didn't play it on hard, so I can't really compare. But they almost felt too easy. Like it was just a give. It was you follow the same formula and you're gonna
Uh,
win.
they
This one felt like it wasn't hard, but it
mm,
felt like I had to pay attention a little bit more, maybe.
well, they're okay. So I've played all the Cold Steels on hard. So I think that the mech battles in 3 and 4 are the same exact difficulty on hard mode. So
Okay.
maybe they made normal less easy. But they felt the exact same difficulty. I did the exact same stuff, the exact same ways I did in 3.
Yeah.
They didn't really change anything at all. So I didn't feel like it was any more difficult or less difficult than
Okay.
3 was. But I play on
Gotcha.
hard, so maybe they made normal less easy. So that's all my only guess.
Probably. Yeah, possible. I mean, it still wasn't hard, but I felt like I had to think a little bit more. Where almost before it was just
Yeah.
muscle memory.
Yeah, so in on hard mode, if you let them hit you with one of their super attacks, they will just flat out destroy your mech.
Oh, you have
So
to guard.
you have to guard or you have to save all your stuff for impede. You can't just go willy-nilly. They will flat out kill you.
Mm, gotcha. But yeah, what else can I say about Cold Steel 4?
Do you like the
Um,
setting? Do you like Aaron? Do you like that area?
yeah, I'm glad we finally got to see what it looks like. I think it's pretty. I like the area you go to. What's the name of that place?
The
Um,
forest.
well,
No?
what's it?
Mm.
What the heck is the place where you go to train with Randy at the start?
Oh, the labyrinth.
Yes, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's a cool place. That's better than the schoolhouse, and it's better than
Yeah,
the stupid thing they had in 3.
yeah. So I
It's
don't know if
it's
you got
cool.
further, Callie, but
No, I just the next quest I have is to go do the rank 2 of that.
okay. And interesting enough, it's actually optional, which I think is interesting because it never has been optional in the past. At least I don't think so.
I think Lane Wolf needs to refresh his stream. We talked about Hades like minutes ago.
He's a little behind, but that's okay.
No, I think
Thanks for sticking around so long.
he needed to go away, and he just kept watching when he left. You know.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
maybe he hit pause or something.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it's optional, which I think it's. I'm glad that they uh, you have a choice. I went in there and it's really short. It's not nearly as long as the schoolhouse. Sometimes I felt like the schoolhouse ones dragged on a little bit too long, and they're really repetitive. So I think that's probably a change that I do like. Um, but yeah, still just chugging through. I think I have 14 hours in the game, so I'm not too far ahead of you, Callie. Um, but yeah, like it so far. And okay, so the last thing I've been playing. So today actually, I just tried the demo for Hyrule Warriors. Actually, like an hour before the podcast, gave it a try, and I think I could get into it. I'm kind of with hope. I'm not really into Dynasty Warriors, but the fact I think story wise more so, I could really get into this game because I was really interested in the background behind Breath of the Wild. Like I found all the pictures and stuff, and so you could see the whole events before the game. So um, I think I'll pick it up. But yeah, with my new TV, it didn't look so hot, so I went ahead and ordered an M Classic right before the podcast. So we'll see how that looks. I'll probably hold off on playing the demo until I get that, just so I can see how that game looks with it. But yeah, I don't think it's so bad. That's all I got.
I agree with you, Lane. Like, I think the story is the only thing that's going to be its saving grace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. Rad. What have you been playing?
So I played more Paper Mario. That game is longer than I thought. Um, I'm like 25 to 30 hours into the game,
Hmm.
and I have like 75 to 80% of the game. The thing is that so without spoiling anything, they at the beginning of the game, they tell you, okay, so the bad guy is in this castle, and that castle is wrapped with different like paper wraps, like and different colors, like yellow, red, blue, green, and purple, right?
Mhm.
Um, but okay, so you're saying like, okay, okay, I see one. I go that way. I find the place. Then they tell you no. In order to get into there, you have to go to this dungeon and do this. Okay, I go there. I do this dungeon. I return. I see where the wrapper is, and when I'm going to open the wrapper, then I need an item in order to access the wrapper. So I need to do another dungeon, which is cool. It's fun. But I thought I was closer to finishing the game, and they keep doing that. They keep doing that, and they keep
Uh,
throwing you dungeons everywhere, apart from the main dungeons. And yeah, it's actually it's not that. I mean, I don't think that what how long to beat says is accurate, at least not for me, because I'm not doing a lot of side quests. Because they say 25 hours. I don't think that's accurate. But I'm enjoying the game. I'm actually glad that I'm still playing it. I'm getting I got fun of it, like the battle system and the charm of the game. But probably this week I'll finish it. I'm not that far. I think.
Cool.
I'm say that again?
I just said cool.
Yeah.
So
So also I've been playing Data War. Um, I
Yeah.
came
Ultimate
late.
dad mode.
I came late to that game. I don't know
I love
why,
that
because
game.
it is fantastic.
it's the
Um,
beard.
yes, I'm enjoying the game so much. Like, at first, I think what Callie says is actually true. At first, I was a little bit off about the camera on your shoulder all the time, but I got used to it, and now I don't know. I just like destroying everything. Nothing is too complicated, so you just hack and slash. Um, Still, it's not as crazy as the first God of Wars. You actually have to think a little bit. You can, but at the same time, Kratos is so powerful that
Yeah.
he just destroys everything.
I think I saw on
Yeah.
Twitter that God of War is getting 60 FPS on PS5.
Yeah, and I might actually play
So
it then. If
I
only
think
they could
I'm going to replay
just
it
just
for
let me
that.
zoom the camera out just a little, just like 6, 7 inches, maybe a little farther. I'll be happy. Just zoom out
Yeah.
just a little.
But then you can't see that graphical detail they put into
Who
that
gives a
character model.
crap? I just want to zoom out.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It was a little off-putting at first, but I mean, you get used to it, and then it's
Yeah,
not a problem anymore.
yeah. So I think I'm like 30 or 40% into the game. Not that far, I think. Maybe close to half. I don't think I'm yet.
Yeah.
I'm there yet. Um,
I
but I'm
think one of my
playing it.
favorite things about the game was the axe throwing puzzles.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
I
remember
love doing
seeing
so.
those.
those.
So some of them are so clever. Like sometimes you you're stuck in a puzzle and you're like, really is then you think of something and you're like, wait, this is nonsense. There's no way this is the solution. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. So yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of that game, and the reason I'm playing it is because we're doing the top 10 PS4 games next week, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be on the list. So I'm just still debating where.
Right.
Yeah.
That
That depends on what happens this week on the stream as well.
yeah.
Um, the other game that I actually bought yesterday night was the one that Callie mentioned, Hades. I bought it late last night. I already have more than 10 hours into the game. That's how much.
It's
That's how
so
much
good.
I'm
It's so
enjoying the
good.
game. Um, yeah, I mean, I'll just say this. So Cali summarized the game perfectly, I think. So there's not much to add to it. But I'll just say that I've only played 10 hours of the game, and it is already a top 5 game of the year for me, maybe more higher than that. So
Yeah, I gotta say,
Wow.
it's probably one of my, it's my favorite roguelite I've ever played. Like that's all there is to it. It's super fast, it's very fluid, and like Rad, you were watching my stream for a while.
yeah, yeah,
It's a Cali game. It's like the personification of a Cali game. There's crazy shit going on all over the place nonstop. It's very colorful, and you have to pay attention to everything or you're gonna die immediately. Like you make a few like you stop paying attention for like 3 seconds, you will die.
yeah. The thing
So
is that it's one of those games where dying is actually kind of exciting, because obviously you don't want to be killed, but when you do, you're like, okay, now I can, you know, buy more stuff, get more stronger, and then get stronger, and then when you get back to Hades' house, like you see like Hades mocking you because he, you know, like, dude, what are you keep trying? Why are you keep trying? You know, like you're not getting out of here, you know. And then the other interactions with the other gods, you know, and or servants or whoever is in the underworld, you know, it's really, it makes you feel like every escape attempt is so different from the other. Like that was my worry at the beginning. I was like, so every time you die, you go back to the beginning, and I have to go and play this again. But you don't feel it. It's like a completely new experience every escape attempt.
Yeah, and
And
I gotta say, like, even when you die, you're so much more powerful that you just
mhm,
steamroll through the first area till you get to the boss.
right,
That first boss is the hardest boss of the three. That's all I have to say.
right,
It's stupid.
yeah, 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 yeah. Um, no, for sure. But yeah, no. I mean, one of the games of the years for me at least.
So
Wow.
right now, if you want a great deal, you can get it on Steam or Nintendo Switch for the same price. They're 20 bucks. But Steam has a sale right now for Supergiant Games. You can get Pyre, Transistor, Bastion,
Mhm.
and this game along with all of their soundtracks for $42 and something. So you can get everything all at once. It's a ton of gameplay. I highly recommend it. Really, guys, go give this game a shot, or at least go watch my stream so you can see what it's about. Like, watch like the last. Well, don't watch the first attempt. I kind of sucked at that. Actually, no, I made it decently far. The second attempt, I made it like to the minute, almost to the Minotaur, I think. Um, yeah, it's a good time.
It's yeah, it's so no. I mean, just don't look. I mean, if you wanna, of course, I mean, if you wanna look at the stream, go ahead, but don't try to search about the game. You know, it's just try it and have an opinion on it, because that's what happened to me. You know, I didn't know anything about it. Um, and then Hope told me that he had like a 93 or something like that in Metacritic as well. So it was, makes sense because you know,
Decision made right
Can't
there.
go
yeah,
wrong.
Mhm.
Can't go
so,
wrong. Buy it.
yeah, it's Super Giant Games did a great job. They definitely didn't put the millennials to
Yeah,
work on that
those great
on that game. Yeah,
those great millennial devs. They
yeah.
small
Those
indie
were
company.
experienced. Yeah, those guys were experienced. Yeah.
Every time I hear you guys say
Not
that, I get slightly offended as a millennial software developer.
You know, that's okay because you work for a small indie company, so it's fine.
Yeah, but it's the lazy millennials though, so we
Yeah,
specify.
I am certainly
you're
not
the non-lazy
lazy.
millennials, so to
Yeah,
speak.
exactly.
Oh, Nick. By the way, I'm seeing the chat right now. Um, I got um Digimon Cyber Slash, the complete edition. So I'm joining the dark side. I'm
As a
definitely.
Pokemon fanatic, I don't know how you're going to take those games. So just give me an opinion when you get Formulate One.
I'll play
We'll
them
see.
on my pace. Yeah, I want to. Uh, I know Darth Rage is a huge fan of the games as well, so maybe I'll like them.
Just keep in mind they were originally a Vita game, and yeah, should be good.
So, Rad, how does Haiti run on the Switch in like dock mode? Does it run pretty
Like
good?
butter.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I played both like on my Switch and docked, and yeah, no, I had no problems in either.
Cool.
I prefer docked because of the Pro controller, of course, um but yeah, either way was good. I have no complaints.
Hmm. I might have to buy this. I got an M Classic coming on Tuesday, so if it runs good on the
Yeah,
Switch, we'll give it a
so
try.
I mean, I gotta say the reason why I bought it on PC over Switch is because of the soundtracks, because there's some great soundtracks, and I could throw them and put them in a mix. So Like there's some really good music. Lane, you'll love it. There's a lot of good some metal stuff on the boss fights. You'll like it.
Sick.
Though Hades developers like have put out hit after hit, and Transistor is like one of my favorite like indie games. So I'm very excited to give it a shot eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I have those games on my backlog. I'm like, what am I doing? I should play those games at some point
You,
if those guys made this, you know.
you never played Transistor?
I have them. I got them like for 2.99 or 3.99 on
Yeah,
sales,
same.
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna see if
Transistor
I
and
can
the
get.
other one, Bastion.
I want Transistor physical because I love that game. I collected like everything for that game.
What is the other one, Callie? Is it Pyre or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pyre. It's Bastion, Pyre,
Transistor and Hades.
Transistor,
Okay.
and Hades. That's everything.
I've only played Bastion. I love the narrator. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you'll
even
like
Eric was liking it. I was surprised Eric liked the game.
it's
Yeah.
freaking hilarious. Like you'll go to talk to somebody and the narrator's just like, sometimes there just ain't much to say.
Now that I think about it,
Sometimes things better left unsaid.
is the voice actor of Hades like the actual character the same of God of War? Because the tone sounds similar. I don't think so, but yeah, the way that Hades talk in that game sounds to boy like like that of War.
Oh.
So I have to double check that, but it is unlikely.
Huh. Do you guys know how long the sale's lasting? I probably should buy it, huh?
November 2nd. It ends November 2nd.
Yeah.
So,
For Hades?
yes. I think
I'll just buy it
I think so.
so I don't forget.
Go look at the Super Giant bundle. I linked it in Twitter earlier today.
Well, I
Those
want to
are
play it on the
all
Switch.
good games. All good games. So
Cool.
Okay, guys. Hope you've been here. Do you have any other topics you want to bring up since you're the guest before we call it a day?
Can you guys tell me who your most valuable waifu is? Please, I am curious.
From any game?
From any game, yes.
Well, I mean, waifu is different from favorite female character. I have two answers for that.
There's only one that I've ever saved in my memory as waifu, and that would be Rin Tosaka from Fate.
I'm not actually sure. I'm trying to think.
This is a deep question, and I feel like I need sufficient time to really.
Yeah.
I'll go with Aqua.
Aqua? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's
I'll
a good
go with
one.
Aqua. I mean, for waifu, for best female character, I'll vote for Velvet.
From Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
Darth Ray says Tifa. I think I can agree with that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Makoto was pretty great.
Yeah. Oh, that Kasumi from Persona 5 Royal.
I don't know. You guys are forgetting one very important character.
That's not how you spell
Makoto.
Yeah.
I'd also say Estelle.
Yeah, you guys are forgetting a very important character from Tales of Xillia, the main character, Amelia Maxwell.
Mila, yeah, Mila is really good as well.
Like she's like the queen of the spirits or whatever. Like she's a pretty badass character.
She is.
I don't know.
I prefer Velvet though, but I like Mila as well.
Hope, what's your answer? This is what I think we all want to know. King of the waifus.
Queen.
No, he's king. He's the king of the waifus.
Okay, I get you now.
Who's the queen to the king?
Yeah.
But I asked this question and I wasn't ready to answer it, to be honest. You'll get your answer, but not right
now. It requires a deep study. I understand.
I don't know.
Deep thought-provoking question.
Yeah. it's like your answer is like your life depends on it. Or,
Exactly.
I
I
don't know
can't
who to
betray
answer.
the true one. You know?
That's right. That's right. I will say I just got done playing Uncharted 2 and Team Elena.
I'm Team Elena as well.
Team Chloe. Team Chloe.
Oh,
All the
we're
way.
doing this again? Okay.
Yes. It will go on till the end of time if it needs to.
Dude, Team Elena. Like Chloe is useless for 23 chapters in that game.
Yeah. She's just a backstabber.
Then she's awesome, but Elena is awesome all the time.
Yeah, Elena. Yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised
I'll-
nobody said Fragile from freaking Death Stranding. I mean, she's a train wreck and is like the worst character in that entire game.
Fragile, but not that fragile.
God, I hated that line so much. I was like, "You're a pretentious person. I don't like
I was
you."
actually kind of surprised that Death Stranding. I mean, I guess it's not really a horror game, kind of. I mean, I was surprised that wasn't your favorite horror game, Callie.
Honestly, I didn't consider it a horror game because it's. I mean, there's some parts in there that are kind of scary, but okay, yeah, I guess it is a horror game because you're like, oh shit, don't get seen, don't get seen. Oh god, okay. Death Stranding, that wins, done. I'm looking right at it. It's like directly in front of my line of sight. I'm looking at the collector's edition box. It's like 3 feet from
Yeah.
my face.
I think I would consider that a horror game.
It's so
It's
good.
only a brief part of it that's horror. It's not the entirety of it, right?
Yeah, you're totally right. The other
Yeah, it's true.
90% is
Package
FedEx Simulator.
delivery.
FedEx Simulator.
I'm changing my aqua pick. What am I doing? I'm picking Jude from Dragon Quest 11. I forgot about her. That's my pick.
Jade.
Jade, I mean.
What about? I don't know.
I like that pick.
I mean, Lane chose Estelle, and she's whiny. So that's. I mean, if you're into that, I guess.
Estelle is best Estelle.
I don't know. Laura's better for Reen than Estelle is, or Alicia. Like,
Wait, Estelle? Did you just say Estelle was for Reen? No.
no, she could be. They don't even know each
No.
other. Like,
No.
it's just her,
Just no,
Joshua.
Callie. Just no.
Incest is
detective
wincest, you know.
Oh god.
God.
Oh lord.
Thanks
Well-
for the answers. I am gathering and recording all of this data. Just letting you know.
That's
For research.
For research purposes.
That's what happens when
Yeah.
the podcast goes over 3 hours.
I gotta say though, it's a really tough decision because there's so many just great characters throughout
Yeah.
all of gaming history.
Yeah. Lots of great female leads.
Yeah, I know.
Liliana from Dragon Age.
Yeah, you said she's great. I mean, Asuna is amazing from Sword Art Online.
Another great character
She's white bread.
from 13 Sentinels. Character by the name of Tsukasa Okino.
Oh, that's the waifu right there. That's it. We're done. That's the end of the topic.
Great waifu.
Best waifu. Yeah, Tsukasa Okino is best waifu. And here's the fun part. Most of you don't even know who that is. And when you play the game and find that out, you're going to be like, what is wrong with them?
Tyr
Tsukasa.
from Tales of the Abyss.
Haven't.
No thanks.
Really?
Hope is like pass.
I
Well,
really don't save waifus in memory, so
no, not either. Sorry. Hot trash.
Princess Medea.
89. 89.
Dragon Quest 8.
89 for days. I'm surprised nobody said 2B.
2B. Oh, wow, 2B. So many choices.
Well, everyone wants a piece of 2B, so I'd rather stay away. Almost like her purity is gone now.
It's like
Yeah.
the town bicycle.
Oh God.
That's a good way to put it.
I
I was
used to
like, what is
hold
the?
on. I used to have a coworker that actually was that, and everyone called her that because it was fact.
Oh
It's
my God.
yeah, no bueno. Anyway, we've got completely off topic. Um, so I think
Jessica
it's
from
time
Dragon
we
Quest 8. I see
Oh yeah,
Juan is a
yep,
man of.
yep. That is definitely
look at all those
waifu.
lizards. Look at all those lizards in the chat.
I don't
I don't get it
understand.
either. It must be a Spanish thing.
No, it's a code for Divinity Original Sin 2.
It's an inside joke between Darth
It's
Vader and
the Red
Rad.
Oh,
Prince,
okay.
the best character ever created in
Okay.
any video game. The Red Prince from Divinity Original Sin 2.
I mean, we could say
Hate that
Claude.
asshole.
Could say Claude from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Who? Sorry.
Claude, the
Oh yeah, yeah.
Team Yellow. Yeah, he's best waifu.
Edelgard.
Oof, Edelgard. That's like, you know, top notch. S
Top
tier.
notch.
S tier.
S tier waifu. No contest.
I don't know.
But,
Okay.
but, but you have to be
Hated
you
her
have you
out.
have to be you have to be on her good side.
Yes,
Yeah.
Also, now look at
no
this. Rem
spoilers, but
says this is the topic for. This is what she was expecting. Actually, I
yeah.
was surprised we didn't do a topic.
You all came.
It's
You all came. You were expecting it, and we delivered.
well, we
We
didn't do
delivered.
the topic
It's just
because
like every.
there is a
We're doing
topic.
it now. We're doing
What
it
is
now.
the importance of waifu in JRPGs? What is the
Yes.
importance? That's what I was expecting the topic to be, but it wasn't. Um,
The importance
of
of
Did you
waifus,
tackle
waifu.
that?
yeah.
We have 13 people now. They are here for what they came for.
And with
Makes sense.
that, we close the show for the week.
Yep.
Demon, this video, there's probably if YouTube reviewed it, there's no way they're gonna review 3 hours in. Um, just saying, they review like the first 30 seconds. They're like, demonetized. Um, okay, so let's close out the show. Tomorrow, actually, Lane and Rad will be on the Phoenix Edge podcast.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right.
that's pretty cool. Hopefully you guys get a chance to watch that. Pretty
Yeah, I might talk about
excited.
that real quick. So,
Yeah,
yeah, so Phoenix Edge, if you guys don't know, they're another great RPG podcast. I think we put a link to their channel in the description. Is that
yep,
right, Callie?
yep.
I might go ahead and throw it in the chat as well, just so you guys can go check it out.
You probably can't because of moderation. You probably can't put a link in the chat. You can go
Oh,
put it in
well, I think it
Discord
just went
though.
through.
No, it didn't. I'm
Oh,
looking at it.
it went through for me.
It didn't for you.
Okay, well, guys, it's in the description, so go check out Phoenix Edge. Very good podcast. Really good friends with those guys. I've been watching or listening to them for a few years now. But yeah, so they are going to be doing a video on some of the new news around Final Fantasy 16 with the new website and stuff. So that will not be live streamed, but make sure you go and subscribe to them and then check us out. Me and Rad will be on their latest episode. So go subscribe and keep an eye out for that.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's always fun to hang out with those guys.
Cool. So let's go through the social links. You can find Eternia Archives on Twitter and YouTube and Discord, which I think everybody in the chat is probably in the Discord, but if not, join the Discord with the link in the description of this video. Come hang out with us during the week. It's a great time.
Yeah.
There's like there's topics today about Tifa. I was just like, what is this? What am I reading right now? So you can
Fun
find
facts.
fun facts. Yeah, I'm Cali Chronicles. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube as Cali Chronicles, and on Twitter as Cali_Zath for Calizath.
All right. I guess I'll go next. You can find me on YouTube as Nick Dash Heat Hay Space Gaming, and you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Heat Haze _gaming.
I'm Rat Console Gaming on YouTube, and Facebook and Instagram, and I'm Console Rat on Twitter.
I'm the Laninator on the YouTubes, and I'm T Laninator on the Tweeter.
You can find me at T the Laninator on Twitter, Tally Chronicles on Twitch, or Rad Console Gaming on YouTube, or Nick Heat Hayes Gaming. I used to go by the name Einashi, but I don't use that name anymore, so do not search that name.
Yeah.
Speaking
stuff.
speaking of Einashi, I tried to invite him a couple times. I feel pretty bad that he didn't join us, but like
We
I didn't see him on Zoom. It's unfortunate.
We'll be back. He'll be back. We
He'll
need
be
you.
back. He'll be back. We miss you, Einashi. I know you're not listening at this point, but we miss having you. And
For sure.
with that, we will call it a stream. So thanks for hanging out.
See you guys.
Peace.